From Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan, it's the USPBL All-Star Game and Home Run Derby. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan York along with Kara Wolfbauer. We get ready to bring you a great day of baseball here in Utica.
Yes, really excited for today. Now, the tarp had just gotten pulled only about 15 minutes ago, so we were a little worried about rain today. Checking my radar last night, shaking in my boots a little bit, but really excited. It seems like it's just going to clip right by us today because the baseball gods looked like they wanted us to put on a show tonight.
Absolutely. We had some significant rain during the morning, and up until about 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour, the rain started to pull out. The sun is trying to come out. The temperature is warming up, and this should be an excellent day for both the All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby.
Yes, now we have the Home Run Derby going on first. Not much wind today, so I'm really interested to see how these balls carry out of the ballpark. Now we have 6 guys in our Home Run Derby today. I'm really excited to see how they perform.
And it's the top 6 home run hitters in the USPBL, with the exception of Livingston Morris, who is new to the league, but a big home run hitter.
Yes, new guy, but has that stature. We've seen him hit BP, and we have a cage out back that's at least 50 feet behind the fence, and he hit the top of the cage the other day. And I believe as soon as they saw him do that, we said, that guy, he's got to be in our Home Run Derby this week.
All right, and the Home Run Derby will be 3 rounds. It will be timed, so that will determine who is the winner of this year's Home Run Derby. And then when we get to the All-Star Game, it is Team Davis versus Team Dixon, correct?
Yes. Now, I believe they chose these captains today. These two have been outstanding so far this year. Very big fan favorites, and they just hold themselves, I believe, to a different standard that they've stuck out to me as a fan and as an analyst watching them, and the fans in the stands just can't get enough of them. They're highlight reels, walking highlight reels.
Both Dixon and Davis, just offensive players, the best offensive players in this league so far.
Yes, and both happen to be center fielders, doing very well in the outfield, tracking down the ball each game, and just great footwork, great read right off the bat.
And a couple of great pitchers, the pitcher with the most wins in the league versus the pitcher with the most strikeouts in the league.
Yes, we have Garrett Martin starting tonight for Team Dixon for the West, and we have Jesse Galindo starting for East. Very interesting to see tonight. Garrett Martin has a typical release, but we go over to Jesse Galindo, more of a sidearm release, definitely can throw some of the guys off a bit. But what's crazy is he'll be facing some of his own teammates tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, this is sort of a mix of players from the 4 teams. There seems to be a little consistency both ways with depending on who the captain was, drafting a lot of his own players, but there are players from all 4 teams on both squads today.
Yes, really excited about the mixed bag of players we have on each side, especially because since we are a smaller league, we have all 4 teams right here calling Jimmy John's Field home. It's interesting to see that they still create a team dynamic, even if they're not on the same team. They all practice together all the time, train together, so I'm really excited to see how these games turn out tonight.
Right, this is a unique situation here at Jimmy John's Field with this league, and that everyone comes together, and even though they play against each other as teams, it is really one functioning unit.
Yes, even for our Home Run Derby last year, Dakota McFadden took it away last year with over 40 home runs.
Wow.
And yes, and the whole time, even while he was hitting, he had all 4 teams, even guys who weren't even playing, coming out and cheering him on. So they're here for each other. They want to help each one get to the next level, which I think speaks a lot. We had 4 guys get signed this year, and it's because they all work together to get the next guy to the next level.
Very good. And obviously it's bragging rights for whoever can come away with the Home Run Derby victory.
Yes, I believe they get a little trophy that has a microphone on it, very similar to this, but just a little bit different, more of an old-fashioned mic. But
from Detroit Sports Media, as a matter of fact.
Yes, there we go. And they can hang it on their little wall growing up, and maybe their kids will see it one day.
I think it's a little bigger than that. But and for the fans, what can they expect today going on around the stadium? It doesn't have to do with the game, because now that the rain's out, hopefully we'll have a lot of activities.
Yes, well, our kids zone is always open to fans. The wiffle ball is a very big fan favorite here. Some kids just spend their whole time in the wiffle ball zone, and they absolutely love it because they're idolizing these players and they want to be like them. So I think they go over there just to practice, get their reps in like these guys are. But we'll also have Chelsea Cooper walking around the park today, and she'll be hosting, and we'll be sending some segments down to her for some games.
All right, and she'll also be on the field during batting practice.
Yes, yes.
All right, 24 players on each squad, so I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of substituting going on during the game. We're going to see a lot of different players today.
Yes, and very interesting on Team East with Chris Davis. I think he made some fantastic selections, by the way. He has 3 of the starting shortstops on his team. I'm really interested to see how that pans out tonight. So Patrick Baggett will be the starting shortstop for Team West. He is more of a utility player. He can pretty much play anywhere, but he will be their starting shortstop tonight because Donovan Curiel, the usual shortstop for the Unicorns, is on Team East. And I'm really interested to see this rotation tonight and who Team West will be relying on to have that leadership position in the infield.
And Galindo on Team East, kind of an enigma. He has a 5.10 ERA, but he leads the league in strikeouts.
Yes, it's very interesting. I know he's got a wide array of different pitches he throws, but I think a lot of it has to do with his release. It's very interesting to certain batters. Left-handers seem to struggle off him a bit more, just from what I've noticed, but we'll see how it goes for him tonight. He does have a great mound presence. We saw him last year, struggled a bit with command last year, but it seems to have more confidence this year. I think it has to do with being a second-year player. Feels like he can take a deep breath and have his guys next to him.
All right, well, excited to see how this goes tonight. We'll have Home Run Derby first, then we'll take a break, and then we'll have the All-Star Game right here at Jimmy John's Field. So you are watching the USPBL from Jimmy John's Field.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field here in Utica, Michigan, as we get ready for the All-Star Game and Home Run Derby. It'll be the Home Run Derby first for the USPBL, and we talked about in our pregame, 6 players with a lot of power, some different hitting styles, so it'll be interesting to see the approach. They will have their own designated pitcher, so that should assist them in some degree. There is no wind. There's absolutely no wind to assist them today for this. The flag is calm. We had rain, as we said earlier. The tarp was on the field. The grounds crew did an excellent job of getting this field ready to go for this game and first off for this Home Run Derby. And this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited, Dan. I'm really excited to see how these 6 guys do. Because, for example, we have Chris Davis leading the league in home runs right now. However, I would say if we're talking BP hitting, I think Livingston has a fantastic shot at this today. We have Chris Davis, Malik Bolin, Livingston Morris today, Chris O'Neill, Josh Baker, and Bryant Schellenbarger will be taking on the Home Run Derby today, so I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, some of the stat guys here in the press box prior to the start today, they like Livingston Morris. They like his uppercut swing. They like his style in batting practice, and that's what this is all about. It's about getting a rhythm. It's about finding your uppercut swing and being able to hit it in the same place every time. There you see no wind at all to assist the batters.
Yes, and exactly. And just a minute ago, we saw a baby. It looks like we got a lot of first times today. A lot of these guys having their first Home Run Derby. A baby probably having their first baseball game today. So really excited to see how it goes. But also you talked about Livingston Morris. He has that launch angle swing. So I know watching him in BP, and we had mentioned it in the pregame, he's been hitting balls over our Chevrolet Pavilion. So I'm really excited to see how he does in BP.
I want to see that.
Yes, me too, because we've got kids waiting out there right now, right behind all of our signs, behind the fence, waiting for those home runs.
There you see him.
'em. 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 '
So last night with the Beavers and the Diamond Hoppers, very nice crowd here. The stands completely filled for that game last night. So hopefully we'll see a big crowd again here tonight for this home run derby, which will precede the All-Star game that will begin 7 o'clock-ish. It has more to do with the timing of when this ends, correct?
Yes, exactly. When the home run derby ends, we're looking about a half an hour afterwards. But also, like you said, speaking of last night, we had a sold-out crowd last night. It went very well. It was a really great way to lead us into the home run derby. We got some guys preparing right here. We see Chris O'Neill and Chris Davis both getting ready, getting their composure, ready to go for this home run derby today. And look at that sweet bat right there, Dan.
Wow. It's got the stars on it and everything, so that's a specialty bat for today for the All-Star game and for home run derby, it looks like.
Yes, I walked past earlier. We were getting ready to do our pregame. I took a look at the bat, and I asked Huffman, because he happened to be standing by, if he knew whose bat it was. He had no idea, but it might be looking like it's Alex Pups, or maybe he's just taking a gander at it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool-looking bat. So let's take a look at a couple of the players in this as far as their season stats coming into this. Chris Davis, who we interviewed during the pregame show, he is the leader in home runs in the USPBL. He has 4. That puts him in first place. But again, we're all kind of thinking that his build won't necessarily lend himself as well to some of the other players for this home run derby. Not that he can't hit it out, but he hits line shots. He hits the ball hard. He doesn't necessarily hit the ball up in the air. So that will be interesting to see, how that plays today during home run derby.
Yes, and Chris Davis's form, his batting form is fantastic, but I see it in a way if he doesn't have that launch angle swing like we've been talking about with Livingston Morris, if you even take a look at his past home runs, they're usually line drive shots that just go far enough to take it over the fence. He's great coming off the pitcher. He really barrels it up the right way, takes it out of the ballpark. I don't see him too much as a BP hitter. He's very strong, very capable, but more of a short and compact stature, and I think he has a short and compact swing that he barrels it up the right way, takes it out. Well, Morris, Livingston, I believe, has that launch angle, long swing, and that big stature to take it out of the park today.
Bolin has 3 home runs coming into this, as does Chris O'Neill. So, you've got guys that have hit a couple. The only person that doesn't have one is Livingston Morris, the guy everybody seems to be picking as the favorite here this afternoon. He's newer to the USPBL, but again, it looks like his swing is what everybody is counting on lending itself as you see the guys lining up for a photo opportunity and probably for introductions here. Now, the format as we understand it, the first round is 2 minutes. We're going to eliminate 3 batters in that first round, and then we'll have a set of 2-minute rounds for the next 3, and then we'll get it down to 2, and those will be 2.5-minute rounds. That's how it was explained to us earlier.
Yes, that is how it's going on tonight, and they decided the order 1 through 6. The person who is going first will be Livingston with 0 home runs on the year. Like we said, he's new, he just got here, and Chris Davis will go last since he is leading the league in home runs. Like you had said, they each have picked their own pitcher to throw to them today, and they get a 30-second break anywhere during that 2-minute allotted period. Yes. Okay. Whenever they're feeling it's time for them to take a breath, maybe step away, maybe they're not hitting very many over, they're not riding out that high, they need to reset. So they will each get a 30-second break between, but we'll keep you guys updated on how many home runs they'll be hitting out throughout the night today.
And if you've watched home run derby in Major League Baseball, sometimes that timeout is as much to reset the pitcher. If the pitcher they've selected is not finding that path that the hitter is looking for, he wants to slow him down too and give him a chance to regroup and find his groove on the mound.
Yes, and funny you said that too. Taylor Jellikowski, the manager of the Westside Woolly Mammoths, will be throwing to 2 batters tonight. So he told me, because I asked him, I said, how you feeling today, Jelly? What's going on? He said, well, we'll have to wait and see how I'm feeling after I throw to 2 batters tonight. He was with us in the league in 2017, was the home run leader, but did not win the Derby.
Okay.
So he talked about that with Chris Davis. Just because you're a home run hitter in a game does not always mean you're a home run BP hitter.
Okay. And you see some of the kids enjoying some of the concessions here at Jimmy John's Field, getting those hot dogs in before the home run derby starts. They'll probably get a couple of home runs or get a couple of hot dogs in after home run derby starts, I suspect.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Dan. I got my
Yes,
my
you
hot
did.
dog fix in before we started
I was
here.
jealous. I saw you bring
Yes,
those hot dogs in. I
as
was
you
jealous.
should be. Yes, I was fueling myself for this broadcast today. It looks like that guy has some mac and cheese. I believe we have barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese in this ballpark now, and that's what it's looking like here to me.
Okay.
And honestly, I wish I would have nabbed that.
Oh. Now you're having food regret?
I am a very hungry gal.
All right, so we had, as we said, we had some rain early on. Right now, we can see blue sky. We can see sunshine. It is 73 degrees. Actually, you couldn't have asked for a more perfect day for a home run derby or an all-star game, especially in the middle of July when it could have been 90 degrees and humid and unbearable. It's actually very, very nice. And by the way, if you're watching us live on our stream, there is still plenty of time to get out here in time for the all-star game. You might not make it in time for home run derby, but you absolutely can make it here in time for the all-star game as you see our players introduced.
Yes, they're introducing Livingston Morris. He will be the first up tonight. Really excited to see what he brings to the table, because we had also talked about Taylor Jellikowski throwing for him, and he said that he thinks, and there's Bryant Schellenbarger who will be up second, but he believes that if Livingston Morris loses tonight, he thinks it's his fault. He didn't throw him good enough pitches because he thinks Livingston Morris is such a great BP hitter.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
Now we've got Malik Bolin, who will be going third today.
Again, Bolin with 3 home runs.
Giving a nice wave to the crowd today. Was not in our home run derby last year, but was with us last year as a Utica Unicorn.
Nice video pieces that are running on the screen as everybody's introduced.
Yes, and now we'll send it over to Chris O'Neill.
One of the captains. They're wearing their batting practice jerseys or alternate jerseys for this. And the home team will wear their whites and the away team will wear their grays for the actual all-star game. The East team is the home team with Team Davis. Did you see Baker introduced?
Yes, I know a lot of people's second favorite pick was Josh Baker tonight. One of the guys was talking yesterday how they believe he's found his stride back. He was struggling a bit, had an injury, and was giving him a bit of a tough time, but hopefully he'll be able to come back out tonight. And there's our captain, Chris Davis. Chris Davis actually was invited out this morning to Channel 2 to talk about the USPBL and the Home Run Derby and All-Star Game today, and happens to be the son of Reese Davis, our ESPN College Game Day show host. So I always tell him I think he's got some broadcast in his blood, so I like to choose him for our interviews.
You could tell during the interview he is used to that sort of thing. That didn't faze him at all to do that interview with you.
Yes, we've got some interviews with him coming up between the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. We sat down with the two captains, so you'll hear from Chris Davis and Burl Dixon soon. But for now, we're getting ready to enjoy this Home Run Derby.
All right, we're going to start it off with Livingston Morris. He's from Gwinnett College in Georgia. His home is Woodstock, Georgia. We'll see what he does here. Again, 2 minutes around.
All right, Taylor Jellikowski, they're matching today. Ready to go. I bet you that was planned. All right, I know the guy behind the plate, too, is Tommy Rice, I believe. His father is the assistant coach, Mike Rice, on the Hoppers. So good to see him contributing to this today, too.
And unlike, again, the MLB Home Run Derby, a line shot does not count as an out. A ball that doesn't carry over the fence counts as nothing. It's just a matter of 2 minutes and hit as many as you can.
Yeah, seeming like these pitches are not Livingston's choice here
Cup of
today.
tea.
Yes, cup of tea. Thank you. Thank you.
A little inside there. Hopefully, coach can find his rhythm.
Yes.
That one's got a chance. Kids taking a look, and that one is out of here, so that's home run number 1 in the home run derby for Livingston.
Yes, I think it's just finding that groove. Hopefully now he can continue to take it out of the park today. And he'll call his time.
He'll take his 30-second timeout, see if he and his coach and he and his manager can get back on the right page.
Now he does have 30 seconds. Probably a good time, like you had mentioned before this. I had mentioned maybe a good time for the player to get the composure. Probably a good time for Jellikowski to get that composure, for them to figure out what Livingston would like to be thrown today. His teammates over there, you can see the Mammoths in the left-hand corner watching him. And it has resumed.
Got a good, nice piece of that, but short of the warning track. This one's got a chance. Let's see. That one's gone. So give him 2. Is this one going to get over? Oh, that one just skimmed the top of the wall. So 3 for Livingston Morris. That one's popped up. Boy, that was a rocket.
Yes, looks like he is starting to find that rhythm. And we can see that launch angle swing we've been talking about, the way the bat angle drops.
Not 100% sure about how much time is left. This one's going to leave the yard. That's going to give him 4. 30 seconds left. There's 5. Now he's got a rhythm. There's 6. So he's up to 6.
Yes, ignited a bit of a fire in him. Let's see if he can keep it going.
That's 7. He crushed that one. Is that one going to go? I believe that's 8. We'll have to get an official count. That might be 9. That could have been 10. And that might be 11. So we'll have to wait for the official count. But I believe that was 11 home runs for Livingston Morris. So he was not cheated in round number 1.
Yes, looks like he found his rhythm. It is tough being the first guy to go. I know Jelly had been warming up ahead of time for this, but it does take a minute. But we're in our second going to send it down to Chelsea Cooper. She is waiting with Livingston Morris now to talk about his first round today.
All right, thanks, Shawnee. I'm here with Livingston. You ended with 9, a little bit slow to a start, but once you got in the groove, they just started to fly. But what were you looking forward to the most in today's home run derby contest?
Honestly, I'm just trying to have fun. I don't know. That's it. That's my whole plan.
I think
Just fun.
no thinking, just fun. All right, let's see how you would do. Good job.
All right, so officially on the scoreboard, we've got Morris with 10. We may have lost track because he was hitting them out in bunches.
Yes, but he, like you just talked to Chelsea Cooper about, he just had fun, just enjoyed himself. I think that's a great thing to tell the kids here. We see all the kids fielding out in the outfield then today from the Detroit Prospects team as Bryant Schellenbarger steps up now.
This one's got a chance. It'll come up short. These are nice line shots for in-game, but he's got to find some launch here.
Say, if this wasn't the home run derby, it'd be a great BP practice, but see if he can get that practice in here today to hit it over the fence.
That one's got a chance. And everybody on the lawn is waiting for that one to come down, so there's 1 for him. So line shot will be short. Popped up into center. So Schellenbarger sitting on 1. But Morris was stuck for a while, too, until he found his groove.
I think the first round can be especially hard, and you can lose some great guys heading into the next round because it's a bit of nerves, too, finding that rhythm here.
A little tough to reach that one. Again, he's hitting line shots. And a pitcher calls time, I think.
Looks like they'll reconvene and talk a little bit about what they're looking for today. Still has a minute left on the clock.
There you see the totals right now.
Bryant with 1, Livingston Morris with 10, but we saw this very similar with Morris just a few minutes ago, so don't know what Brian Schellenbarger could bring to the plate next.
That one's popped up the wrong way. That's the kind of swing you want to see right there. That one was short, but that's the swing. That one's going to go. This should be number 2. That one is gone. This is going to be number 3. We said once he found that rhythm. Oh, that one didn't go. That one did not get out.
I still believe it's actually 1, Dan. I believe that other one had hit the top of the fence.
No kidding. Well, that one's gone for sure. This one's got a chance. That was short. So 10 seconds remaining. He's got 2. I might have got a little too excited and gave out a few too many home runs.
That's all right. I understand the anticipation of it all.
So Schellenbarger with 3. And Chelsea Cooper on the field now.
Brian came away with 3. That's okay. You know, it's better than anything I could do. But you know what, Brian? Knowing that you were going to be in the home run derby today, did you do anything different to prepare?
No.
He keeps it normal. He sticks with his normal game day routine, yeah?
Correct.
Good job.
All right, so our third contestant will be Malik Bolin. He's got 3 dingers from the Beavers.
Yes, Malik Bolin is a returner from last season. And when I had talked to Malik earlier in the year, I kept forgetting he was not in our derby last year. I'd even informed our audience incorrectly a couple times and told them that he was wasn't our derby last season. I apologize because he was not. But now my stats are right because he's here. He's in this home run derby.
He's looking for his first one, the right-handed hitter. Open stance for this, which is normal for this situation.
Fouled that one
Not
back
sure his
a bit.
pitcher's helping him out yet. That's a nice swing. That'll stay in the yard. This one's got a chance. And that's Bolin's first home run.
It looks like he's looking for that inside pitch. Now that one was outside, but it seems like his cup of tea is that low inside that he was looking to take over left field wall.
This one's got a chance. Let's see. That one made it out, so we're at the 2. And he calls timeout after 2.
It's on a better pace, actually, on the 2 before this. They both only started with 1 before their timeout, and Livingston ended up pulling 8 or 9, I can't remember the exact number, out of himself into our second part, the last minute. So it looks like we don't know what Malik's bringing to the table here.
Stubbs out there coaching his teammate.
Yes, I believe a lot of the guys look to J.D. Stubbs as a captain figure, somebody to be there for them, to talk to about this kind of stuff. So cool to see him out there giving Malik a pep talk.
Not enough on that one. He's sitting on 2.
Seems to be slicing a few of them, pulling off a bit, which is why I believe he's looking for that inside pitch.
That's a nice swing, but I don't think that's going to get out. It won't. 30 seconds according to our PA announcer. This one is a little short. That one's gone. That gives him 3. It's coming at fast and fierce. I think we're at 4, I believe. 10 seconds remaining. This one's got a chance right at the base of the wall. So he's going to end up with 4.
Yes, now placing himself in second place. So we'll see what he has to say now as Chelsea Cooper comes up to him.
All right, Malik, you had 4. You know, what advice did you get going into the home run derby today?
Swing hard and catch it out in front.
Did that advice pay off?
No.
Hey, 4 got you. You never know. 4 is pretty good.
All right, so that puts him in second place, Bolin. And that'll bring up Chris O'Neill now.
Yes, it looks like Chris O'Neill is having teammate Taj Porter throw to him today. So maybe that team chemistry will pay off for him.
O'Neill with the Diamond Hoppers.
And it looks like that was O'Neill's bat we were talking about in the pregame.
Right, okay.
Sporting that new piece of wood today. Really excited to see how it turns out for him.
Now, so far, he's yet to go yard.
Well, I wonder if a new bat is the right choice to make for a derby.
Let's see if this one makes it out. That one did get out. That's number one. So he's got one. There's another line shot by O'Neill. That's going to go foul. Off the fist. Popped up. Everybody so far having trouble finding that groove, finding that rhythm.
Yes, most of them seem to be taking that 30-second timeout around this minute mark, which we are nearing right now. Exactly with my cue, he calls a timeout now. Taj Porter and Chris O'Neill will take a second to reconvene, but most of the guys have taken one after this minute. Hopefully try and find that rhythm as Alex Pup helps him out there.
Luckily for these guys, it's not as hot as it's been, so it's a good day for this.
Yeah, so no rain today, just missed us. If we actually take a look at that radar, it skims right by us. So it's actually a great day since it is a bit cooler for this home run derby to be happening.
Yeah,
they probably wish there was some wind blown out, but.
Yeah, and honestly, a little more humidity normally helps the ball jump out more. But for stamina purposes, this is a little nicer.
Yes. He'll step back into the box.
Rips a line shot, but not for a home run. Popped it up. He's got to get a little better pitches. That one's got a chance. Let's see if it makes it. That one's whether they call that fair or foul is the question.
They just called it foul.
All right, so that's still one.
Yes, I believe there are interns on the sidelines calling it today.
That one snuck out. That's two. That's gone. That's a big one. That gives him three. Boy, he crushed that one. That was off the pavilion. This has got a chance if it stays fair. He's at three. He didn't get that last one. He's probably hit three foul that have been gone. That's another one. That's four that he's hit out that have been foul. And he runs out of time with three.
Yes.
So O'Neill probably gave up 3 home runs to foul balls.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Chris, you ended with 3. I really like your bat, but I got to ask you, how did you choose your pitcher today?
Just see who threw the best BP, so I went with Taj. Because my coaches, they didn't want to do it today, so I went with him.
Teammate would never let you down. You guys did great.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. That gets us up to Josh Baker. I think we might have, no, we're in the order we meant to go in. Okay.
Yes, really excited for Josh Baker. He's got, once again, Taylor Jellikowski back out there. Honestly, Josh Baker might have a bit of an advantage because Jellikowski had some warm-ups with Livingston today.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Knocking that rust off first.
A lot of youngsters in the outfield chasing down balls that don't quite make it over the fence.
A lot of great line shots here today, though. These are great.
I said if it's a regular batting practice, these would be great.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them really, really pulling their shoulders out and pulling these balls back and foul.
That one's going to stay in the yard with about 1:20 remaining.
Hopefully he can get at least one home run under his belt before calling that timeout.
It's going to stay in the yard. Just not getting it. He'll call timeout with 1 minute remaining exactly.
Yes. Time for them to reconvene. But I know I talked to Josh Baker earlier in the season. He was our first player of the game of the year for the Unicorns, actually. And when I asked him about what this meant to him today and how to be here, he said he'd actually taken a few years off of baseball. So the fact that he's able to come back here and find his love for the game again, and now actually getting to see him step up in this home run derby is pretty touching from the USPBL side, knowing that this guy had a bit of a rough turn with baseball, and now we're able to bring this back for him today.
And as a left-hander with a right-handed pitcher, he should have a little bit of an advantage. Baker from Clarksburg, West Virginia, and has yet to find the yard. Again, that's a great shot, but not for a home run.
I know a lot of people had Josh Baker as a possible to put their money on here today. So we'll see. He's got 30 seconds left. He can still step up his game here.
Only needs 4 to take second place. Just can't find it. That one's got a chance. Here's his first one. There's a second one. Thought he ended up with 2, but we'll call it 1. And let's go down to Chelsea.
All right, Josh. We got 1, which is better than none. So what makes the home run derby a little extra challenging?
Probably the pace. And yeah, just the pace.
Is it quicker than normal?
Yeah.
The wind's not helping today, is it?
No, it's not.
We'll just blame the wind. Good job.
All right, so that'll bring up Chris Davis. 11 is the number he wants to beat. Again, this is to advance to the next round. We're going to get rid of 3 batters here. This one's got a chance. Let's see. That one's short.
Well, as we've talked about before, Chris Davis is more of a line drive contact hitter, but I believe with the way he barrels up the ball, coming with the speed from the pitcher, he is more likely to hit a home run in a game than as here in BP.
So right now would be Livingston Morris and Malik Bolin advancing, unless Chris Davis can turn on the Jets.
Some great line drive shots. At least it's some good warm-up for game time for
And
Chris
he'll
Davis.
call his timeout at 57 seconds.
Yes, and if we actually take a peek back there, I could see his family hanging out. I see Reese Davis, his father, cheering on Chris Davis from behind. Take a look right there.
There you see our count. So right now it's Morris and Bolin. Davis has 57 seconds to at least come up with a tie at 4 or 5 to advance. So our call on Livingston Morris turned out to be accurate.
Yes, well, like I had said before, watching him in BP is spectacular, how he hits it out of the ballpark like that. So excited to see him do it well here today in front of the crowd. No one else gets to see it besides us, but he's doing his BP usually.
That's with power, but the wrong part of the ballpark. Not going to do it. 35 seconds, not looking great for Chris Davis.
30 seconds.
That was a little off the fist. Kids are getting a lot of balls to shag this time.
Say we see Detroit Prospects team out there enjoying their time together.
5 seconds. that one's got the distance, but it's a foul ball. And that one is going to go. So Davis ends up with 1.
Smile on Chris Davis's face as he approaches Chelsea Cooper.
We got 1, but I don't think it counted. It counted in my book, so it's okay. You got to watch 5 teammates before it was your turn. What was your approach knowing that you watched your 5 guys before it was your turn?
Well, I was just trying to hit them up on the hill. Only one of them went up there, so hopefully we're saving them all for the game. That's what that was. But that was fun. It was a blast.
Good job, Captain Chris. Thanks.
All right, so it looks like Livingston Morris and Malik Bolden will advance to our next round. We have to find out now with Schellenbarger and O'Neill whether they'll both advance or whether we're going to find a way to determine how to get it down to 3.
I've been told it is determined off of who hit the farthest home run, but I'm not sure exactly their calculations on that, so we'll see what they'll say soon.
So Schellenbarger will advance. So Schellenbarger will go first. He will advance.
And then we'll take a look at Malik Bolin and following him.
And then Livingston Morris.
Yes.
I'm sure the guys are catching a little bit of a break now. As you can see, the wind not helping anybody here today.
No, hopefully a good time to knock those nerves off now. Obviously, a little bit of a disappointing time for the other 3, but now that they can be there on the sidelines, we've talked about the USPBL, everyone's friends. They all know each other, and they can hopefully help out the next guy as these 3 step up to the plate today.
So Schellenbarger from the Diamond Hoppers has 1 home run during the regular season.
Cool to see that advancing today will be a Hopper, a Beaver, and a Mammoth, all 3 from different squads today.
Got the height, but not the distance. And fatigue at this point comes in a little bit, especially because we've moved it along. So Schellenbarger with 1.
Have talked to Bryant Schellenbarger a lot recently, and he always says it's time to bring out Shell Shock, who he calls his alter ego as he steps up to the plate.
I like that. I see that on the video board.
Yes, Shell Shock.
Well, Shell Shock comes from Mount Vernon, Ohio. And he'll call timeout with 1:02. Everybody calls timeout about the same place.
Luis Acevedo coming to his rescue to help him out.
So we're starting from scratch now. It's not cumulative.
Yes. Bryant Schellenbarger, the University of Akron product. I'd been here now with the USPBL for his 2nd year. Something quick, cute little tidbit is he carries around Hoppers tattoos with him to give to the kids. So I know
that's
these
what you
kids
told
are
me.
out,
Okay.
Yep, these kids are cheering for him out there today.
This one might make it. Yeah, that one's gone. That's 2. This one's got a shot. Let's see. Just short. So he's sitting on 2. This one's hit the other direction. Line shot won't make it. It's got a nice swing path. 30 seconds remaining. This might be the wrong part of the ballpark for that one.
Schellenbarger is, from what I have witnessed for the most part, more of a contact hitter, though. So was excited and surprised in a good way to see him in this home run derby today.
This one's got his shot. That is gone. That's 3 for Schellenbarger. Just hit it the wrong part of the park there. And that will be it for Schellenbarger. So he comes away with 3. So the same thing he got in the first round, he gets in the second round, 3. And let's listen in.
So right after you took your break and got a little bit of a pep talk, you hit a home run. What did they tell you?
Cut it in half. The wind's obviously not in our favor, but if you keep it on a line, it goes.
Let's catch your breath. Good job.
All right, so we'll move on to our next batter. And this will be Malik Bolin. Malik Bolin will step in. He needs to beat 3. Line shot, but not enough distance on that one.
You can see the kids are starting to make their shift into the outfield. Over
From
to
the left-handed hitter to the
Yes.
right-handed hitter.
Making that shift over there, and he hits his first home
Yeah,
run.
boy, just got it off the over the fence. So he's got 1.
Kids making some all-star catches out there today.
Nice job, by the way, of the grounds crew. Is this one going to come up short, I think? No, that's gone. That's 2. That one went foul. Nice job, though, with the red, white, and blue stars around home plate by the grounds crew for this all-star game and home run derby. And he'll call timeout with 1:08 remaining. He's got 2. He needs 2 more to assure himself of advancing to the finals.
Yes, as his teammate J.D. Stubbs approaches him, and Joe Burke from the East Side Diamond Hoppers, like we've talked about. They're all there for each other in this league, so it's really awesome.
Everybody's
to see this
goal
today.
is the same thing, to improve and try to move on to the next level. So
Exactly.
everybody has the same goal. Nice swing path, but not what he wants as we're under a minute.
Just short on a couple of these.
This one's going to come up just short. Well, that would have hit the wall on the fly other than a nice catch.
Say a great snag by a kid out there today. Needs to at least snag 1 more to tie Schellenbarger to hopefully try and advance to the next round. 30 seconds left. Like I talked about, pulling that front shoulder a lot from some of these guys and slicing that ball.
And it looks to me like Bolin might be getting a little tired.
It's a great shot right there, though.
That gets him a tie.
There's 3 for Bolin.
He needs 1 more, otherwise we're going to have to go by distance. Well, that's assuming Livingston beats 3. All right, so he will be at 3. Bolin settles in at 3. He ties Schellenbarger. And let's go down to Chelsea.
Yes, Johnny said you and Bryant tied with 3. So what adjustments did you make from the first round to the second round?
We just threw it a little harder there. I'm gassed, though.
How did that work out for you?
Can't talk.
I'll let you save your energy just in case you move on.
So as we said, it looked like he was getting a little bit tired. So that'll bring up Morris.
He gets some cheers throughout the ballpark as he steps up to the plate today.
And Morris with the longest rest. The advantage of being the number 1 batter is you get the longest rest period. That's a nice swing, but that's going to be a little short. Boy, he's hitting some ropes. Going to have to find that next gear, though.
Looks like he got his first one, though. That's number.
Boy, that one snuck over, didn't it?
Yes, just barely home run number 1 for Livingston.
This
Morris.
one's got a shot. That is back, 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 and gone. So that's 2.
Home run number 2. Here comes 3.
There it is. That's 3. So he's guaranteed. No, he's got 4 now, according to the board.
Seems to me, I would cool down for now. He knows he is making it to the
Well,
next
now
round.
he can make it. Yeah, now
It's
he's got
not
5 for
cumulative.
sure. There's no question. So you're right. He can kind of mail it in. And we've seen guys at the major league level just say, "No mas, I'm done," because there's no need to move to do that to go farther. But he'll keep swinging.
You want to keep that juice for the second round.
And he just missed a
Third
home run
round.
there. He's hitting some ropes. That one, I don't know if that was fair or foul. Board's got him with 7. According to our producer Christian Gibbons and our director, that was probably on the yellow line. There's number 8, I believe. And he is just going to concede the rest. Well, he's calling timeout. I thought he was going to give it up.
We'll see. Looks like they're stepping back out there for more. Maybe trying to go for a record here to see how many home runs he can get underneath his belt.
So he had 11 the first time. That's got a chance. That's 9. And I think number 10 followed right after it. So he's hit 21. That one went over the Chevy Pavilion. He's at 21 for the day. Look at that rocket go. That's going to be 11. That's going to be 12. Look at that go.
Finally finding that rhythm, that comfort zone now, and you can really see him zoning in today.
This might be 14. It is. So 14. Now they're not cumulative, but he has 25 for the night.
Crowd is very excited for Livingston Morris today to step to Chelsea Cooper.
To watch. You got into double digits with your home runs. You got 14 this time. So how was this round different than your first?
I had a little bit more fun.
A little bit more fun? That's great. I'm glad you're having fun because you're going to have it do it one more time.
So we will have a final of Livingston Morris, and we'll have to see. We're going to listen to the PA announcer. So Bolin advances. So Bolin and Livingston Morris. So Morris with a 25. Bolin with 7, but that's got him into the finals.
Yes, and like we've said, it is not cumulative, so it's all coming down to what you could call their final exam here.
They
see
reset.
How this goes. Yes.
Again, same thing. MLB, I think it's cumulative, so a guy gets a big lead and it doesn't really matter. But in this case, you're starting over. It's a reset.
And now we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Some extra time added to the third and final round of our home run derby here at USPBL. And Malik Bolin will start off with his first swing today.
Again, they all seem to have to find their way from that line shot swing. That's got the right arc, but that one's going to come up short. And there's his first one. So Bolin with 1. This could be 2. That'll be shy. There's another one. That's 2. Hit it to center. It'd be tough to get one out there.
Beautiful swings, though, by Malik Bolin. Very smooth, very smooth.
He's got to pull his hands in a little bit as he'll call timeout with 1:33.
Hello.
And again, he's at a slight disadvantage as far as not getting as much rest.
Yes, and now is especially when that fatigue is starting to set in. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's called timeout about a minute in, but as before, he only had a minute left. Now he has 1:30 to still try and capitalize. But like we've seen as they step off to have their interviews with Chelsea Cooper, it's exhausting. It's tough to even talk afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking like he's getting ready to step back up to the plate now. Fist bumps from teammates, and he's ready to go.
Pulled his hands in on that one. Has he got the distance? Nope.
They actually did call that one.
They called that a home run?
Yes, they did.
And there's another one. That's 4. I was watching the outfielder, so always blame a 12-year-old when you have the opportunity. So there's 5. That one's towards the scoreboard. So he's got 5.
Still 50 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, the advantage to the earlier break is if you find your rhythm, you have a longer pace. He hit that one well. That disappeared for 6. We're down to 30 seconds. It's got to be in the back of his mind that Livingston Morris had double digits both of his times.
About 10
seconds,
left.
yep. He might get one more pitch. Nope. So he'll finish with 6. So 6 is the number to beat. And Chelsea Cooper there again to talk with Bolin.
All right, Malek, after 3 rounds, you hit 13 total. You were gassed the last round. So how did you find the energy to go one more final round?
There wasn't any energy. I was just swinging as hard as I could right there, just spinning off on everything, but got a few, so we'll see.
Absolutely, you should be proud.
All right, so 6 is the number for Morris to beat. 11 in the first round, 14 in the second round. And that might be number 1.
Most certainly is, Dan.
There's 1. Let's see if this one's got the distance in left center. It does not. This might be our first center field home run. No, that's short.
Over on our left field fence, 315 feet on the right side, 320, but deep center goes back 395.
That's gone. Well, that scraped the roof. Scraped the fence again. And there is a big crowd now as you see number 3 go out. There's a big crowd out there in front of the Chevy Pavilion. 3 to tie, 4 to win.
Starting to pop them up a bit now. Say probably a good time to call.
He calls his timeout with
time.
90 seconds remaining. There you see everybody out there chasing down, shagging home run balls in our home run derby. As you see the score, Morris down by 3 with 90 seconds to go.
When we saw Bryant Schellenberger up, I could see all the kids run to the right side. And as soon as everyone else stepped back up, all the sprints right back over to the Chevy Pavilion.
Waiting for that first pitch that he wants to swing at. That's probably number 4 right there. Let's see. No, didn't make it. Oh, look at that shot. That was a rocket. That's 4.
There it is.
That's a tie now. The next one wins it with 50 seconds to go. And I think that's it right there. Let's see. That is number 7. So Livingston Morris, your home run derby champion. He'll still take his cuts. The 225-pounder from Georgia has a big day in the home run derby. He's sitting at 30 home runs right now. Make it 31. Yeah, he's not giving up any of his swings, is he?
No, might as well not. He's also not participating in our All-Star game today, so might as well gas out.
Get it out of him, huh? This one's got a chance. Let's see. That's off the scoreboard, kids, for those of you scoring at home. That's 10. So 35 home runs for Livingston Morris as everyone comes out to congratulate him on a great home run derby effort.
35 home runs out of Livingston Morris. Like we said, even though he had 0, and people take a look at the statistics, you don't know he just got here. And he had to settle his time in, so I'm really excited to see when his first one goes out in the ball game.
It's nice to see all the players come out and congratulate him. A well-deserved award, a well-deserved effort here tonight in the home run derby.
Yes, give him a chance to take a breath before he talks to Chelsea Cooper down on the field. Really soak it all in, soak in the success. This is a big deal, winning your first. He just got here being professional baseball and now winning your first home run derby here with us at the USPBL.
There you see Livingston Morris, number 24 on the Woolly Mammoths.
Looking like some tears a bit from Livingston Morris right now. Like we said, it's a sweet moment.
He's a very happy man. And he's made his way over to Chelsea now. She's got that award.
That's right. Thank you so much, Johnny. It is an honor and a privilege to give the Detroit Sports Media Association Home Run Derby Championship Award to you, Livingston Morris. Job well done. Livingston, you haven't even been in the league all that long, but today you made such a lasting impression on your teammates and fans. What do you have to say about this whole experience?
Did you guys have fun? Me too.
Fun was the theme for Livingston today. Congratulations, well deserved. Thank you. Johnny, back to you.
So that nice trophy from Detroit Sports Media presented to Livingston Morris with 35 home runs this afternoon at Home Run Derby, and what a great lead in to our All-Star game.
Yes, very well deserved for Livingston Morris, and now he can take a break and enjoy watching his teammates out of the field tonight for our All-Star game.
It'll be Garrett Martin on the bump for the away team for Team Dixon, and it'll be Jason Galindo on the hill for the Beavers pitching for the East team as we get ready for our All-Star game here in Utica at Jimmy John's Field. Should be actually, you saw a lot of offense there. I think you're going to see a lot more offense in that All-Star game.
Yes, really excited to watch that All-Star game kick off. But before we get there, we do have some interviews coming up for you guys with the captains of our All-Star teams. For the West Side, we have Burl Dixon, the center fielder for the West Side Woolly Mammoths, a walking highlight reel, as I like to call him. Played some time in the Royals affiliated ball for a bit. And then we have Chris Davis for East. Really excited to see how these guys do tonight and how they bring these teams ready to play ball and put on a show for us.
All right, so we'll have a short break between now and the beginning of the All-Star game. So sit back, enjoy a couple of those interviews, and we'll be back right here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica in time to begin our 2023 All-Star game. Thanks for watching.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
check it out. Woo! Dang, this is clean right here. Ooh, I got it. Oh man, a new era. That's sick. Whoa, let's go.
Fire. I really like them. Look at that. And the baby blue. And the baby blue at the bottom. Those are tough. These are really. Those are tough. These are tough. These are fire.
We're bad to the bone.
This is awesome. Right there.
Love this. Light blue. Gotta go white batting gloves with it though, but perfect.
I might throw 100 now.
No way.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's smooth.
Oh my gosh.
Put that on.
I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go.
This is nice. What is it, New Era?
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Is this one yours?
That's mine.
Mine now.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
This is Kara Wolfbauer here today, joined alongside by Chris Davis, our captain of our East team for the All-Star game today. We're in a bit of an intermission, but we could never leave you guys bored. So we're going to hang out with Chris Davis today and get to know a little bit more about him and how he's excited about tonight.
Great, thank you, Kara. I'm absolutely excited for tonight. Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully the team I assembled goes out there and plays the way that I think they will. A bunch of talented guys, but you never know in one game. That's what makes baseball exciting. So.
Yes, and if you guys were checking out the USPBL network last night, you'd see that Chris Davis was our player of the game. Went 3 for 4 yesterday, had a fantastic outing, and is hoping to ride that into the night round.
Absolutely, yes. Beavers are getting turned around. We were in a little bit of a rough patch, in the weeds a little bit, so to speak, but I'm really pleased and proud to be a part of a team that's got the toughness and resilience that the Beavers do, and just the ability to stay in the fight and to be where our feet are, and that's the type of toughness that we want to bring throughout the rest of the year.
Yes, and the Beavers were our champions last year. Go Beavers.
Go Beavers.
But so Chris did make the All-Star selections for his team. They did do a bit of a draft last week. And tell me about your selections if you had a tactic going into it.
Absolutely. So first of all, I had to take J.D. Stubbs. He's got one of the prettiest swings in the league. He's great defensively over at first base. Runs like he's got a refrigerator on his back, but we'll forget about that for now. And, you hit the ball, you're going to be in. So that's why we had to get him number 1 overall. After that, we took a bunch of guys that are really, really good athletes. So you mentioned a minute ago that we've got a bunch of guys who are starting shortstops in the league on our team. I just wanted good athletes. College coaches across the country say they go look for shortstops everywhere, and I figured I might as well do the same thing.
Yes, went with the same tactic as I see, but all 3 shortstops you have, well, all the shortstops in the league have fantastic footwork. Mm-hmm. So honestly, watching them, even though they are mainly shortstops, they appear almost as utility players to me. They could play almost anywhere, especially infield. So really excited to see how they're doing, really excited to see that rotation, how you guys are turning them in and out, but how you feeling looking at the outfield tonight?
Looking at the outfield, weather-wise, it should be all right. It's a little muddy, but in terms of the guys we got out there, I'm excited. I think, we put together a good squad with, we got Flores and Califoot and a bunch of guys that are really, really good outfielders, good hitters as well. So hopefully we can put together a good performance.
Yes, and you chose some of the new guys. You have Acevedo in your lineup, and you just mentioned Joseph Califoot. How are you trying to maybe have this team camaraderie come in? Because they're not used to your guys' vibe that you've had going on here at USPBL.
Yeah, in the All-Star game, it's lighthearted, it's fun, everybody has a good time, and so I just said, let's go get some good players, and these guys are all baseball guys. They're not going to have a hard time in an environment like this, kind of fitting in and building that camaraderie for an event like this. So just, got some good ball players and ready to go.
Yes, and how has it been so far in the warm-ups? You guys are starting to stretching, get ready for the games now. How has it been working with guys from the other teams?
It's fun. It's interesting. We were, while the rain was going on, we were sitting over there a minute ago, and some of the infielders that you mentioned that we've got were debating the proper form and prep steps and things like that. I don't know much about that as an outfielder, but so it's fun kind of sharing the knowledge with different guys and seeing how everybody does their thing.
Yes, really excited for tonight too. And how do you feel looking at Burl Dixon's picks? How do you feel like the teams are lining up with each other?
I think the teams are pretty stacked evenly. You can see that even in the league standings. Really tight race between all four teams, and there's talented players across the board. So Burl's certainly got a good outfit, and we'll go out there and see who's got a better one tonight.
Yeah, so you guys are going with Galindo on the mound tonight, and you're used to having Galindo on your team. And something we talked about in our pregame, though, is it'll be interesting to see. He has more of a sidearm slot to him. I'm interested to see how your teammates hit off of him who are on the West team today.
One of the main reasons I picked Jesse was I didn't want to face Jesse with that funky slot, and it's something that he's had a lot of success with, raising his arm slot, lowering his arm slot, being able to command different pitches from several different slots. He's certainly very talented, and we'll see how the Beavers guys fare against him. But.
Yes, and last question for you tonight is, how are you feeling with the kids that are going to be filling up the stands today? I know you and some of the other guys like Brian Schellenbacher, Burl Dixon, kids love you guys, are really excited to come find you, but we have especially a lot of kids come out for the All-Star Game and Home Run Derby. They're usually outside trying to catch all those different home runs. How does it feel seeing those kids here for you guys?
It's so much fun. I remember when I was a kid growing up, and there was a AA team in New Britain, Connecticut, near where I grew up, called the Rock Cats, Twins affiliate at the time, and I used to love going to those games, and it was such a fun environment, and you love at that age when the players interact with you, so I always try to do my best to interact with those kids when I get the opportunity to, and they're so much fun to be around. It's just a great environment that Jimmy John's Field and the USPBL puts on here, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Yes, we're grateful to have you, Chris. So kids, remember to come check out Chris Davis. I'm sure he'll be ready to sign all your hats and all of your memorabilia. So thank you for joining us today, Chris.
Thanks,
we still have an interview coming up with Burl Dixon next, your rival today, the captain of our West team, and we'll get ready for game time soon.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At FSBCares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBCares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Sorry. Kara Wolfbauer here, now joined by Burl Dixon, the captain of our West team today. Captain Dixon is reporting for duty.
Here we are.
Ready
Let's
to go today. We just talked to Chris Davis, so now it's time to take a look at the West side and see how you guys are shaping up for today.
Feeling good, man. Yeah, I got a good squad over here, a good group of guys, a lot of big bats over here in my lineup.
Yes, so we had talked to Chris Davis a little about his tactics while you guys were making the draft last week. Tell me about what your tactics were about when you were making your choices.
Yeah, so I wanted to definitely go with the guys who were playing the best in the league first. Give them that credit, and then I just went with the best available, and got all my positions filled in and feeling good.
Yes, but you do have Jellikowski coaching for you guys tonight. It has to feel good having your own coach there with you. And we had talked before this, you made the lineup for tonight. What were you going with putting guys in positions?
Yeah, so I definitely wanted my 1 and 9 guys, or for guys who are going to get on base. I got myself in second, and then in that middle, I got some power in there. So spread out, but good little strategies there. Got some contact, got some power, got some guys who can get on base and score runs, and some guys to drive them in.
Yes, really excited. Now, we talked about Taylor Jellikowski, though, is going to be messing with the rotations tonight because the All-Star Game is supposed to be lighthearted and fun, too, and put on a great show for everybody. Right. But how are you feeling now that the guys you're competitive against, usually playing these games against here at the USPBL, are now on the same team as you?
Feels good. It feels good just to be surrounded by the best players in the league and just have a chance to just pick their brain for one day and see things that they like to do with their game and some things that they don't like to do, or just get to just feel guys out and just pick their brains.
Yes. Now you do have Garrett Martin on the mound.
They go over the top in a little sidearm 3/4, and he's got a curveball in there and a slider and a 2-seam. So just be ready for the fastball and see the all speed up, and you'll be all right.
Yes, really excited for it today. Another thing that's very exciting is, you'll be watching the kids running throughout the ballpark tonight, and that's a big favorite of us here at Jimmy John's Field. They're always running up to you guys. You, Chris Davis, we talked about this before, are big fan favorites for these kids.
For sure. It's always just, a blessing to have the opportunity to just give back and just and just feel the love from other people and just give love back. So I'm definitely just grateful that I'm here and able to make a pretty good impact.
Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Burl. Really excited to see you perform in the game because we have first pitch coming soon. We'll have Dan and I back up in the booth, and we'll be talking to you guys soon.
Thanks, Kara.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
Always rely on Tryon.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
Always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing, 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees, and helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica. Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on try on.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Yo, we gotta clean this place up, bro. What's up? So we gotta clean this place up. It's a mess. Coach, the house is a mess.
Hey, you're gonna have to call somebody to get that house clean because I need you guys down here now.
Who can we call?
Well, the company that does all the suites and company offices is Dawn to Dust Cleaning Service.
What's their number?
586-932-4090.
Give them a call.
Hello, Dawn to Dust Cleaning. How can I help you?
Hi, how soon could you guys come clean our house?
You know, we actually have availability today.
Are they here already? That can't be them.
Hi, Dawn and Dust Cleaning. We're here to clean. So
Guys,
you don't have to.
You guys got here quick. Come on in. This looks unbelievable. Wow. Crystal clean. Definitely worth 5 stars. What do we think? Oh yeah, this is amazing. 5 stars for sure.
What is it? Let me check it out. Woo! Dang, this is clean right here. Ooh, I got it. Oh man, a new era. Whoa, let's go.
Fire. I really like them. Look at that. And the baby blue. And the baby blue at the bottom. Those are tough. They're really. Those are tough. These are fire.
We're bad to the bone.
This is awesome. Right there. Love this. Light blue. Gotta go white batting gloves with it though, but perfect.
I might throw 100 now. No way.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's smooth.
Oh my gosh.
Put that on.
I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go.
This is nice. What is it, New Era?
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Is this one yours?
It's mine.
Mine now.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
And welcome back to Jimmy John's Field here in Utica for the 2023
USPBL All-Star Game. We are happy to be here after Home Run Derby. Dan York along with Kara Wolfbauer as they're about to introduce the players on the field, but that was an amazing Home Run Derby, which hopefully will lead into a great All-Star Game.
Yes, Livingston Morris put on quite a show for us tonight. I believe cumulative was 35, 36 home runs today, 35. Perfect. 35 home runs for Livingston Morris today. I got a chance to actually talk to some of the fans, and they said that as soon as they saw with his first 10 that he had really set the benchmark for them today.
Yeah, that was his to win, I guess, or his to lose, I guess the expression is, because that was all about Livingston Morris. He just powered the ball, and even when he was done, he still just kept going to see how many he could pound over the wall.
Yes, Livingston Morris is not in our All-Star game today, and we'll take a look at our sponsors now as Dan will take you guys through it.
If you insist.
I do.
Thanks to our friends at Ascension, one of our sponsors here at the USPBL. Belfour Property Restoration. Budweiser. Dave and Buster's. DTE Energy. Fifth Third Bank. Jarbcom. Jimmy John's. Macomb Community College. McLaren Macomb. McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Pepsi. Scott's. And UWM United Wholesale Mortgage. We are happy to have them along this entire season to bring everything to you here as far as our telecast goes. And we are very, very happy to bring you our telecast. The players, again, both teams are on the field and getting ready for the in-house introductions. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for Team Dixon, they are labeled the West team. Leading off and playing second base, number 2, Jordan Hussein from the Woolly Mammoths. Batting second and playing center field from the Woolly Mammoths, number 12, Burl Dixon. He is the captain, and he selected this team. Batting third, the DH, number 15, Fox Liam, again from the Woolly Mammoths. Joe Burke from the Diamond Hoppers will bat fourth at first base. Batting fifth and playing left field is Ward Hackland from the Woolly Mammoths. Hitting sixth and playing right field, number 25, Bryant Schellenbarger from the Diamond Hoppers. Batting seventh and playing third base, Chris O'Neill from the Diamond Hoppers. Batting eighth and catching from the Woolly Mammoths, Zach Beadle. And batting ninth, Patrick Baggett. He is the shortstop from Utica. And Garrett Martin, number 10, is your pitcher. He comes in with a 4-1 mark, and opponents batting .206 against Garrett Martin. So now let's take a look at Team Davis. They will be the home team, and they will be the East team by our delineation. Leading off will be their captain, left fielder number 8, Chris Davis from the Beavers. Batting second from the Diamond Hoppers and playing second base, number 44, Luis Acevedo. Hitting third and playing first base from the Beavers, J.D. Stubbs. Batting cleanup and playing third base from the Beavers, Tremaine Spears. Batting fifth, the right fielder from the Beavers, number 22, Nick Pastor. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter from the Beavers, Malik Bolin from our home run derby. Batting seventh, the center fielder from the Diamond Hoppers, number 10, Anthony Flores. Hitting eighth and catching, Taj Porter from the Diamond Hoppers. And batting ninth at shortstop, Ben Wilkinson. And our pitcher today will be Jesse Galindo. Jesse leads the league with 41 strikeouts on the year. Let's take a look at that pitching comparison. So again, Martin going for the West team. He comes in with an ERA of 4.63, 35 innings on the bump. He's given up 26 hits, but he has 34 strikeouts against 15 walks. For Galindo, an 0-2 mark, that high ERA at 5.10. His inning pitched are 30. He's given up 34 hits, but there's the stat. 41 strikeouts and 12 walks for Galindo. So a pretty nice pitching matchup. A couple of different pitchers. Galindo with that sidearm delivery.
Yes, I think Galindo's arm slot can throw some of these guys for a loop, you could say, which is why I believe he leads the the league in strikeouts currently. I know we talked about it in our interviews, if you guys had stayed tuned during our little recap between the All-Star and the Home Run Derby, that Burl Dixon and Chris Davis were both talking about how Galindo switches up that arm slot. It can be very tricky as a batter to face him.
Okay. And it'll be a challenge because sometimes he'll be facing his own batters in a couple of instances for Garrett Martin and for Galindo. So there's that kind of odd possibility that takes shape here with the way this All-Star game has been constructed. Again, there are players, even though we've broken up the East and West, and there is our East and West divisions in the standings, the players are kind of mix and match because they've been selected by the captains for tonight.
Yes, well, I'm really excited to see how these lineups pan out for us as they introduce the captain, Burl Dixon, walking out there, flashing some pink tonight for us. But Team Davis, no offense to Team Dixon over there, Team Davis is seeming like a very strong lineup to me. Like we talked about, they have 3 shortstops in there. Chris Davis talked about how most coaches say you want shortstops. They're athletic. They lead the field. They lead the team. And so I think having those 3 smart minds on his squad is really going to help them out tonight.
Regardless, you've got teams that have a really nice offense. Both teams have a very nice offense. Again, you might be able to give the nod to one team or the other, but both teams come in fairly balanced. We'll just have to see how everybody plays together. The Unicorns are in first place here in the USPBL as we come into this All-Star break. They're the only team with their head above water. They're 11-8. Everybody else is tied at 10-11 with last night's game here at Jimmy John's Field. So really balanced play, and that's what they want when they set these teams up in the first place, right?
Yes, that's why I'm really excited to see how these teams turn out tonight, since Davis and Dixon selected them. While the league did select who the All-Stars were, Davis and Dixon came out and did a draft for us last week, ultimately coming up with these selections.
And again, they'll introduce the home team now on the field, which is Team Davis. And the coaching staff for Team Davis is from the Diamond Hoppers and the Unicorns. And that means the coaching staff for Team Dixon is from the Woolly Mammoths and from the Beavers. So we assume there'll be a lot of pitching changes and a lot of shuffling of players as they try to get everybody into this game. I don't think anybody last night pitched enough innings that would disqualify them from probably playing here today. So it's a good chance you'll see all 24 players take the field. This is a 7-inning game, so there's even less time to get all of the pitchers in than a regular 9-inning game.
Yes, and you can see Team Davis sporting the white home uniforms tonight. And so we got some colors going on from the west side. But for the west side, like you had mentioned, Beavers and Mammoths coaches, so Taylor Jellikowski and John Dombrowski will be helping lead that team tonight. While for the east, Team Davis, we have Ryan Kotke and Skip Johnson over on their end. So it's really exciting to see, while they do all work together, like we've said, one big league, same look, same intentions to get everybody moving on to the next level. So they've worked with these coaches before, and really excited to see how it turns out.
When we take a look at the league leaders, which has a lot to do with the players you see on the field right now, Ray Hilbrich from the Beavers batting .407, actually not one of the starters as he leads the USPBL, along with Joe Califoot at .387, Florentino batting .377, Burl Dixon, one of the captains, batting .359, and Chris Davis, one of the other captains, batting .355. 4 home runs leads the USPBL. That is Chris Davis with 4, Bolin and O'Neill with 3, along with Josh Baker. So we will take a quick break, and we will be back with the first pitch from the USPBL All-Star Game. You are watching us live from Jimmy John's Field in Utica.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and reset our life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Back at Jimmy John's Field for the 2023 USPBL All-Star Game. I'm Dan York along with Kara Wolfbauer, and we're about ready to throw the first pitch and get underway. It's been a long afternoon. We had some rain. The rain moved out. We might see another sprinkle here during this game, but all the heavy rain is past us. And it'll be exciting to see again after the home run derby. It'll be exciting to see the way these teams are constructed, to see what kind of game we get here today.
Yes, it's looking quite promising tonight for the weather as we see Jesse Galindo getting ready to take the mound, having some laughs, having some fun out there for our 2023 All-Star Game.
So Galindo, a right-hander, as our everybody but one pitcher, I believe, on this All-Star roster. Galindo throws a four-seam fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and a two-seam fastball.
Like we've talked about several times now, good for mentioning one more time, is that arm slot. How he does change it up quite a bit, so it can be very tricky for the batters. But like we've said,
and he's not showing the sidearm pitch at all during warm-ups.
No, of course not. Of course they wouldn't, as we talk about it the whole time. But I know he's taken on some of his own teammates tonight, and I wonder what that'll bring to the table. Because, for example, the people who have been seeing him all season probably actually have a better shot at hitting against him than these guys that are usually backing him up in the field.
Sure, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Saw a bit of sidearm action right there. Taj Porter catching for him tonight. I always wonder, there's usually that pitcher-catcher duo they talk about. Lots of pitchers have their catchers that they like to see, but he's switching it up tonight. See Patrick Baggett sporting the unicorn look there. Guys getting ready. And now we will take a look at our three-dimensional services defensive lineup today.
All right, in the outfield, it'll be Hacklin, Dixon, and Schellenbarger. That's actually the, there you go. Thanks, PJ. It's in the outfield. It's Davis in left. Flores in center. Pastorin right in the infield. It's Spears at third. Wilcoxon at short. Acevedo at second. Stubbs at first. Porter behind the dish, and Galindo on the bump. Trying to confuse me, guys. I could tell what you were doing there.
Now Jordan Hussein will walk up to bat right now.
Hussein, a .286 hitter. He's only had one error all season. He's playing second base in this All-Star game here today. Outfield, infield, pretty much straight up for this first pitch, and there's a swing and a miss to get us underway.
Yes, big first cut from Hussein there. But like you said, batting .286 on the season. Has been pretty consistent. Only 3 walks, so definitely likes to be aggressive up to the plate.
Galindo comes to the plate. Doesn't get the call down low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hussein. It'll be Dixon and Liam, the 2 and 3 hitters following him in the first half of the first inning. Here in the All-Star game at Jimmy John's Field. There's a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. And the batter calls time. Similar pitch clock rules here as in Major League Baseball.
Yes, 15 seconds on the clock with no one on base. 20 seconds on the clock with a runner on. Hussein goes to take pitch number 4.
And Galindo outside. Nice scoop by the catcher Porter. He'll switch baseballs. Field is dried out pretty good. We got a little water down the first base line just off the warning track, but the infield was covered the entire time. Matter of fact, they've sprinkled it twice because it's dried out.
Yes, the infield doing pretty good tonight. Outfield seemed to have held some water, though.
There's a curveball. He didn't get the call. Nice pitch. So that'll bring up a full count on Hussein. Thought he might get rung up on that.
I agree. I thought it was a pretty nice pitch. It's not the pitch I'd want to be taking with a 2-2 count.
No.
I'm worried about leaving in the ump's hands.
Here's one hit into the outfield. It might get over the left fielder's head. It does. Hussein turns the bag at first, and he will trot into second base with a stand-up double. He got that over the head of Davis. And we've got our first base hit of the afternoon, a double for Hussein.
Yes, great execution by Hussein, and I wonder when I look at the lineup here today, as we talked to Burl Dixon, he had put this lineup together. He led off with 3 Woolly Mammoths to start. Now that is his team, so I wonder if that's what he feels his best core is, that he knows can help lead a team to success and get the ball rolling.
Again, everybody's pretty even record-wise. Nobody has a great advantage. As you see the left-hander Dixon, the captain of this away team. There you see our pitch clock. That one's outside. Short lead at second base for Hussein. Galindo from the stretch now. Comes home. Swing and a miss. I don't think he fouled that off. I think the catcher just mishandled it. So 1-1 count on Dixon. Dixon comes into this batting .359 on the season. His OPS is 1022. That's 1,022. 18 runs scored. It leads the USPBL.
Very patient batter. 19 walks on the season.
Swing and a miss.
As soon as I call him a very patient batter. But 19 walks, he is leading the league in walks currently. He's been a great leadoff hitter for the Mammoths as well so far by getting a man on base and putting them in a position to execute some runs.
We talked about it. Dixon was drafted by the Royals and spent a couple of years in the Royal system. Got as high as high A.
I think he can bring a different look to baseball with some of these guys as well. He's seen some higher levels of baseball to bring them some great advice as they enter their professional careers.
And he looks to strike 3. He didn't like it, but I think he knew he was done by the way he started jumping up and down before the umpire even called it. So there's 1 out, and that'll bring up Liam, the designated hitter. Liam batting .318 on the season. a member of the Woolly Mammoths.
One of our recent additions, only joined us a couple weeks ago following our college showcase, and has been a great addition to the Mammoths so far.
Swing and a miss as Galindo. Great movement on his pitches right now. Liam's OPS in the short time he's been here is a cool 900. Runner on second base is Hussein. There's a little bit of a sidearm action that time.
Seems to switch on and off depending on what pitch he's throwing.
Well, and that's to his advantage, right?
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, definitely can be very tricky for some of these batters, which is why I believe his strikeout count is so high this year.
Fouled off at the plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on second base is Hussein. He got there with a double, leading off the game. Dixon with a strikeout, and Liam trying to drive a run home here early on in the All-Star game, the 2023 All-Star game for the USPBL. From the stretch, just missed the outside corner.
And I've had a chance to catch up with Galindo's host family. They had him last year. Very excited to have him back this year because he said he's become a vital member of the family. He's very close with them. They come to all of his games. I'm sure they're out there in the stands right now rooting for him.
And I want to talk about that a little bit later on because this is my first time here this season. So I don't know how much it gets talked about as you see a called third strike on Liam. So there's 2 away and a man still at second base. That's going to bring up Joe Burke. Burke batting .317 with 13 RBIs.
Has to feel interesting having your own catcher behind you, calling the pitches they probably know you do not like. Serves a little bit of a disadvantage to Burke. Maybe tripped up on the mound there from Galindo. Galindo from the stretch.
Here's a ground ball foul down the third base line.
Taylor Jellikowski looks like he lost his skills from the USPBL back in 2007. Couldn't pick up that ground ball. But he's a great dad, a great coach, guys.
Looking to give this one away if he can. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Burke. I don't know if the umpire had to get more baseballs. He kind of wandered out of the home plate area for a second.
Well, they most certainly lost a lot of baseballs in their home run derby from the show Livingston put on tonight.
Nice. Nice recall.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's up high. Galindo not throwing tremendously hard.
His movement is what works for him, especially. The speed is not so much what goes behind him, but that movement like we just see right there.
There's a strike call. Again, 78 miles an hour, just pounding the strike zone for the most part.
Faster pitching is always easier to time down, while pitches that are moving are a little bit harder to detect there. So kudos to Galindo for that.
This one is hit out into right field, but it's, a late start, and he dropped it. So Hussein is going to score, and a ball gets thrown away, and Burke trots into second base. So we'll have to see how they score that, but Hussein will score. Pastor got a late break on it, and then kind of got caught in between. Couldn't decide whether to let it drop in or whether to try to make the play. And then he did catch up with it, but didn't end up hanging in his glove.
Well, as they say, you have to try your best in baseball to forget quickly about the different mistakes throughout the game, because as soon as you have a little bit of mishap like that in the outfield, you want to make sure you can control your next throws to prevent that guy from getting to second base like we just saw. Now
this is Ward Hacklin who grounds it foul, the left fielder. Hacklin batting .314 on the season with a very nice .834 OPS. So runner on second base, Burke replaces Hussein, who scores. And it looks like they've given Burke a base hit. That one's fouled off. I'm going to give Burke an RBI, but I don't know if they will. I guess if he had to give him the base hit, you give him the RBI. And then he advances to second on throw to home plate.
Yes, I agree.
So the runner on second is Burke. Hacklin the batter. 1-2 count on Hacklin. Galindo from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Again, only 77 miles an hour. Galindo ultimately strikes out the side, but not before giving up a run. So he gives up 1 run on what turned into be 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and it's 1-0 with the Team Dixon on top. And let's turn it over to Chelsea now on the field for the sweetheart of the game.
Presented by Michigan First Credit Union, and he found not 1 but 2 very special fans in the stands today. He found Candy and Hunter, and it's Hunter's birthday. So JJ, yes, happy birthday, Hunter. JJ presented Candy these beautiful flowers presented by Thrifty Floors. So thank you, JJ, and happy birthday, Hunter. Johnny, back to you.
All right, let's take a look at the defense now for the West team. This is Team Dixon. Pretend you haven't seen this already. In left field is Ward Hacklin. In center field is Dixon. And in right field is Brian Schellenbarger. At third base is O'Neill. Baggett is at short. Hussein at second base and Burke at first base. Martin on the hill and Beadle behind the plate. That's our defense, brought to you by 3-Dimensional Services.
Yes, and like we've talked about, I'm excited to see Patrick Baggett at shortstop tonight. He's been camping out somewhere in the middle infield or third base for the Unicorns, because the usual shortstop for the Unicorns tonight, Donovan Curiel, is on the east side tonight. So really excited to see Patrick Baggett showing off over there. Take a look at Chris Davis getting ready to lead off his team, hopefully to what he would like to be a win tonight in their All-Star game. I would say this game is all for some street cred tonight, Dan.
Absolutely. Just like Home Run Derby was.
Yes.
It'll be Davis, Acevedo, and Stubbs. The 1-2-3 hitters has a 1-0 lead for the West. Team Dixon.
Garrett Martin was our player at the game about 3 times early in the season, right away, all back-to-back pretty much. He's been doing extremely well for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Has had a little bit of trouble recently with some command, but just for a game or two. So really excited to see him bring it out here tonight now as he faces off with Chris Davis first.
So Chris Davis, the captain of this East team, and his stats are just go on and on and on. He's batting .333, which is good for 5th in the league. He's first in home runs with 4, second with RBIs in 13, first in 18 runs scored, and again, it just goes on and on and on, his stats so far in this 2023 season.
I know it's been interesting, too, for some of these guys talking about hitting off Martin with the fork ball. They do not see very many fork balls, but I know he talks about he likes it. He prefers it more than the slider because he thinks it cuts through the zone faster.
Okay. This one is hit into the outfield. The center fielder, Dixon, takes his time coming in. He'll put it away. And there's 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up Luis Acevedo, second baseman for this Team Davis team.
Luis Acevedo, newer to the league as well, has been performing quite well, batting .294 on the year, only 1 walk, but with 10 hits.
Martin throws a four-seam fastball and a changeup, a curveball, and a forkball. So you don't see a lot of guys that throw a pure forkball anymore.
It seems like a difficult release.
Well, it's difficult on the hands, and you can only throw it for so long. Roger Craig, who was a pitching coach forever in Major League Baseball, that was his pitch that he brought to the majors. And guys committed to it, and guys like Jack Morris and Milt Wilcox, it worked for them. even Dan Petrie, but it's just got to tear up your hand.
But now Garrett Martin's working to have it work for him here in the USPBL. So new look for us. I haven't seen any other forkballs in my I've been here 2 years now, and this is the first I've heard of it from someone in the USPBL.
Well, Atkins on his list of pitches he throws shows a forkball.
I had talked to him about that before because I always go through the list and he really never throws it. I believe it's in his arsenal, but it's not actually
on his resume, huh?
Yes, but it's not actually brought out to the game quite often, it seems like.
2 strikes on Acevedo. Oh, big curveball missed. Martin lost the grip on that one. Stubbs on deck from the windup. Ground ball fouled on the third base line. O'Neill there to make the play, but on the wrong side of the bag for him.
Now, we talked about earlier that whole pitcher-catcher. Lots of times pitchers have that catcher that's like a safe haven for them to help bring them back if they're struggling. We do have that similar duo here today with Martin and Beetle. They are used to each other being on the same team, unlike Galindo and Taj Porter on the other side.
That one's fouled off over the backstop. So Dixon with his speed is playing fairly shallow, while Hacklin and Schellenberger are playing fairly deep. There you can see Dixon. He's ahead of that worn out spot on the grass as we see this one fouled off down the third base line. I think it found its way into one of the picnic areas.
Yes, the rain has been doing some damage to our field. We always want to put a show on. As you see, maybe a kid over there had just gotten his first professional baseball.
And there's another one hitting the same direction.
Yes, but the rain has done some damage to our outfield a bit, unfortunately. And the skies are starting to get a little bit dark here. Hopefully we can still hold it off for today and get through these 7 innings and put on a show.
Yeah, I think even if it does, there you see it, even if it does come through, I think it's going to be brief and not cause us to have to stop. Of course, don't hold me to that. There's a ground ball hit right back past the pitcher. This is going to be a tough play and it won't be made. So Acevedo with his speed would have beat it out regardless. So Stubbs has a runner on first base now to try to move up. Stubbs with 11 RBIs and 84 total plate appearances, one of the top totals in the USPBL.
Yes, J.D. Stubbs is a returner from last season. Bit more of a quiet guy, keeps to himself, but like I've said, known as a team leader to lots of the other fellows out there.
Checks his swing, does not get the strike call. We have 2 umpires, an infield umpire and a home plate umpire for today's game. Here's the rock and the pitch and a swing and a miss. Stubbs with a big swing there.
Big launch angle swing from J.D. Stubbs. You see the bat cock back a little bit. So when he does get a hold of it, it goes. But see how he can do here now against Garrett Martin.
Runner on the move. Ball into the dirt. Throw a little bit up the line. And Acevedo will trot into third base. Throw comes in very quickly. But Acevedo stands on third base now with 1 out.
Acevedo with some speed on the bases. Not the guy you really want to see an overthrow go with. Coming for a record we saw last year, Elijah Brown holds the record for stolen bases right now in the USPBL, but might not be too far behind for Luis Acevedo.
So Beetle picks up the error. Here's a ground ball to second. This will score the run. Hussein quickly over to first base, but an RBI ground out for Stubbs. And we're tied up at 1 apiece as Acevedo dents the plate.
Yes, now we've got a tied ball game here as Tremaine Spears walks up to the plate, batting .245 on the season with 13 hits and 17 walks, close behind Burl Dixon, who has 19, leading the league currently, but just trailing a couple behind our center fielder from the west side, Woolly Mammoths.
And 10 stolen bases also. He is tied for the league lead with Ford. Look at that, hanging over the fence. Keep an eye on your camera, though. They look a little shady.
We've got some kids enjoying our ball game tonight.
That one's outside. Yeah, that's fun the way they're hanging over the fence there.
Starting to get ready with the covering themselves up tonight, yes. Stands seem to be evacuating a bit.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to second base. Nice play by the second baseman, Hussein. And that brings the inning to an end, but not before Team Davis picks up a run. We are tied at 1 apiece. You're watching the 2023 All-Star Game.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Well, just as we said it, the rain now has moved in. Again, it might be quick, but a lot of people have headed for the underside of the grandstand. There you see some diehards out there on the lawn that have decided to stick it out. Not enough rain to get us to stop playing, but just enough rain to make it not comfortable to sit in your seat.
Yes, most certainly not enough rain to put us to a stop on July 2nd. Some of you diehard USPBL fans may have remembered we threw our first pitch at 10:15. We were not letting that game go aside without our fans enjoying some USPBL baseball tonight. So we know that we will be holding on to this game. Hopefully the rain doesn't hold out for too much longer so we can pick up getting the fans back in the stands.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Yes, me too. But Michael Esposito will now take the mound from the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Got some umbrellas starting to come out now. Stands evacuating a bit, but still not stopping everybody from watching some baseball up behind our pavilion.
So Esposito comes into the game with a very nice 1.23 ERA with 21 strikeouts. He throws somewhere around 93 to 94 miles an hour. So we'll see how that does after Galindo was throwing everything around 78, 79. We'll see how the change works out.
Quite a drastic change there, but great tactic from the East team on making these changes here. Got Brian Schellenberger stepping up to the plate. We just saw him in the home run derby.
Schellenberger batting his OPS is 729. He's batting 275 on the season. Flips went into left field. Third baseman comes over and makes the play in foul territory. That's Spears, and there's one up and one away. You can see it raining just a little bit, but it's literally just a little shower.
Yes, but Esposito has retired most of the batters. I got to find the exact numbers in a minute, but most of the batters he has faced, he has retired. His speed does blow past these guys quite often. Has only pitched a few innings, but does make quick work out there on the mound.
Well, with an ERA of 1.23, yeah, he's not seeing a lot of contact. Played his college ball in South Carolina.
Yes, he is a Gamecock and is from New York. Now out here in Michigan with the USPBL.
And there's a strike called on O'Neill. 1 ball and 1 strike on Chris O'Neill. Chris with 3 home runs, participated in home run derby. And there's a swing and a miss by O'Neill.
2 derby hitters in a row for this East team. Or I'm sorry, for this West team.
Yeah. It's a little confusing because they're kind of mixed matched.
It is. It does take me a second, so thank you for bearing with me.
And he swings and misses at a high pitch out of the strike zone. So there's 2 up and 2 away. That was 90 miles an hour from Esposito. So that'll bring up the catcher, Zach Beadle. And my stat prior to this game is that he hadn't made an error yet, which he has not made in a regular season game. But he had a throwing error in the first inning to allow the runner to advance to third.
Yes, and Zach Beadle from Medina University, so from Michigan, close by.
So there's a big swing and a miss by Beadle. And another swing and a miss on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Boy, Esposito's not letting up.
We've got number 23 from the Utica Unicorns now heading to the bullpen. One of our awesome camera guys we like to steal once in a while when he is not playing, Carsey Walker.
There's a swing and a miss. And strike 3 on Beadle. So a very quick inning for Esposito. All right, in between innings, let's check in with Chelsea now on the field. All right, we think that promotion has probably been postponed because of the rain. So we'll keep it right here. Talk a little baseball with you. We don't mind. So at the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Pastor, Bolin, and Flores, the 5, 6, and 7 hitter for Team Davis.
Seems like Corolden is now taking the mound for the West team. He is from the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Did play for Wayne State University. Was all GLIAC twice now. And he was the replacement the Hoppers got for Jacob Wazinski after he was the first USPBL player signed out in 2023 to the Minnesota Twins. So Corolden has been the new guy they are looking to on the mound this year. And he has now made it to our 2023 All-Star game, Dan.
Fantastic.
And quite an all-star in the classroom, I have heard. Had some all-academic teams flying up around there in his 4 years with the Wayne State University. As we see, it's starting to get a bit dark out. We're starting to have some lights coming in.
Well, and it looks like the brighter skies are moving their way in, hopefully, as the lights are on here at Jimmy John's Field. So hopefully, again, it looks like there's still a little water coming out of the sky, but not a lot.
Yes, it looks like it has slowed down a bit, like you said, starting to come in with some bluer skies.
So Pastor, who will be leading off the inning, batting .322 on the season with an .861 OPS, and will try to catch defensive changes as they get made.
Still the umbrellas making appearance here, so a bit of rain still coming down. Yes, the ponchos are making an appearance here at Jimmy John's Field. I see a yellow one, some different colored ponchos coming out there. There
you see it.
Beautiful look.
So Pastor with the Beavers, starting in right field. The right fielder, Schellenbarger, playing deep on Pastor. Center field and left field playing pretty much straight up. Second baseman as far back as he can be without being on the grass. Here's an inside out swing that the shortstop will back up on. Baggett puts it away, and there's one up and one away.
Making some quick work here in our All-Star game. Already in the bottom of the second. And the 30 minutes played so far.
Bolin will bat. Now, we didn't clarify with anybody. So for folks who don't know about the USPBL, there is a time limit during a regular season game, correct?
Yes, we have a 2 hour and 30-minute time limit on our regular season games. We will stop playing once the 2 hour and 30-minute time limit has... We will not start a new inning, I'm sorry, as soon as the 2 hour and 30-minute timer is up, as Hussein Has a bit of a bobble out there at second base, so Malik Bolin will take his trot over to first.
So that'll put Bolin on first, as she said, and bring up Flores from the Diamond Hoppers.
Yes, Anthony Flores, a University of Nevada product, been doing quite well for the Hoppers out in center field so far this year.
He has started all 20 games for them. So Carolden will go to the stretch. And brings a fastball at 92 for a strike. And then on Saturday, the games are 6 innings, 7 innings apiece, because it's a doubleheader?
6-inning doubleheaders on Saturdays. Today's just a bit different with our home run derby going on.
Sure. This one is scheduled for 7.
Yes. Yes, this is scheduled for 7 innings today. Want to make sure we get through all of it, especially because we wanted to make sure we had a great time at our home run derby. Give it the time allotted it deserved.
Which we did.
Yes.
Ground ball. This is a fair ball. Chews up the third baseman for a base hit. O'Neill was in position, but I think that's a base hit. I don't think he's going to make the play, even if he makes the catch. So that puts 2 runners on now. Bolin moves to second. Flores is at first. And that'll bring up Porter, the catcher. So Taj Porter. Bats with 2 runners on. And 1 out.
Yes, Taj Porter is a switch hitter. We have him in our book, but I usually see him from the left side.
And he is unable to check his swing there. 0-1. And I guess it would be logical because he's going to see mostly right-handed hitting. So.
Yes.
A lot of space down the left field line for Porter as he swings and misses at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Hacklin rather, shaded quite a bit over towards center.
Taj Porter batting 179 on the year. Had a tough plays as a catcher, getting hit by some foul balls straight back. So glad to see him coming out here and being okay. We've had a couple tough breaks with him back there. So
well, and obviously the most important thing with catchers, you want them to be able to hit, but most importantly, you want them to be able to handle themselves behind the plate.
Yes.
And handle their pitching staff, especially at this level.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
That's outside. Is Carolden having a little trouble finding the strike zone?
Yes, 2-2 with 1 out, 2 runners on. Got a tied game here.
Bottom second here in the USPBL All-Star Game. Here's a ground ball. Pitcher will make the play. Flip it over to first base. That will advance the runners. But Carolden gets the runner at first base. So Bolin moves over to third. Flores moves over to second. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Ben Wilcoxon.
Yes, you take a look at our bottom of our screen. JJ is getting ready to pick up the bat. JJ, our field general, sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union. Quite a trooper out there. Star of the show.
JJ was spending most of the afternoon upstairs with us here.
Yes, he's a sleepy boy before his job. He is always saving his energy for the game.
And he will sleep anywhere.
Yes.
This one's popped up. Catcher chases after it, but I think it'll be out of play. And it will be.
Ben Wilcoxon has been very effective so far this year, batting .284 on the year. Been doing quite well. Also a great shortstop, great footwork, but more of a contact hitter, solid base hits. So that'd be a perfect time right now with 2 outs, runners in scoring position.
And they're leaving him a nice gap between first and second. Wilcoxon with 6 stolen bases, so if you can get him on, he's fast. And either unable to check his swing or the umpire calls it a strike.
Working behind 0-2.
So Wilcoxon with a RBI opportunity here with 2 down in the bottom of the second. Carolden in relief as we will see a lot of pitchers here tonight. Ground ball ends up foul. That was close. You have to watch those because sometimes they'll hit the grass and kick back fair.
Yes, we saw a call yesterday that John Dombrowski, the manager from the Beavers, was quite upset about. It did clip over the third base.
But that did not hit the base because I was sitting right in line with that, and it hit a rock or something and made that weird bounce.
Seemed to have had some, anger coming from John
Well, because it took a weird turn, and from his angle, I'm sure he thought it hit the base. That's up high. Yeah, from his angle, I guarantee he thought it hit the base.
Yes.
And we were sitting right there looking down the third base line, and it just took this weird bounce after it hit next to third base. Yeah.
Yes.
So the umpires got it right.
Good for them.
And a swing and a miss. Will Coxon strikes out, and Team Davis unable to come up with any runs. We're tied at 1. This is the USPBL All-Star Game.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Yo, we gotta clean this place up. So we gotta clean this place up. It's a mess. Coach, the house is a mess.
Hey, you're gonna have to call somebody to get that house clean because I need you guys down here now.
Who can we call?
Well, the company that does all the suites and company offices is Dawn to Dust Cleaning Service.
What's their number?
586-932-4090.
Give them a call.
Hello, Dawn to Dust Cleaning. How can I help you?
Hi, how soon could you guys come clean our house?
You know, we actually have availability today.
Are they here already? That can't be them.
Hi, Dawn to Dust Cleaning. We're here to clean, so you don't have to.
You guys got here quick. Come on in. This looks unbelievable. Wow. Crystal clean. Definitely worth 5 stars. What do we think? Oh yeah, this is amazing. 5 stars for sure.
As you see our dark clouds hovering over Jimmy John's Field, Carsey Walker in now to pitch for the East team. He is the third pitcher for the East squad as we are tied at 1, headed to the third inning. Here are the All-Star game for the USPBL. There you see Carsey Walker, a member of the Unicorns.
Carsey Walker is also a member of our broadcast team, helps us out on his days off. Did study communications in college and loves working himself a camera or a graphics computer and helping us out on the side. All-star in the field, all-star in our broadcast hearts, Dan.
There you go. What more can you ask for?
Oh, not much.
Baggett, the shortstop, number 3, will bat for the West Side team. He's with the Unicorns. We see people making their way back to their seats now with lots of napkins and towels to try to dry off the field as that one is fouled away.
Yes, I'd also be making my way back with some food, but to each their own.
Here's the pitch. Nice pitch for a strike. Misses outside. There's a swing and a miss on strike 3, and they get him at first base. So Baggett struck out, got away from the catcher Beetle, and he quickly got the ball down to first base for the strikeout.
Yes, and he rounded out our lineup, so we are heading back up to Hussein batting first today, our leadoff hitter for the West Side.
Jordan with a double and a run scored in the first inning. He got things started for the West. It's the All-Star game here at Jimmy John's Field. 1-1 is our score, top 3. There's something you won't see in the majors. The batter go get the ball.
Oh, yeah, but Jordan Hussein would consider himself a team player. It's the All-Star game. Everyone's all together.
.89 miles an hour out of the strike zone. 73 at game time, by the way. She's checking my math now. She doesn't believe me.
70 degrees now, but some more rain. Looks like it might be rolling in, but we're hoping for the best
Yeah, but
tonight.
you have an Apple, I have an Android. It might be a different temperature on my phone.
70 degrees, according to the Apple iPhone.
Now I'm just starting to irritate her. There's one in the dirt. I've got 70 also for what it's worth.
See? Woman's always right.
Yeah, I know that. Not my first rodeo.
So Carsey Walker with the 3-1.
Outfield straight up. Oh! Called strike on the inside corner. That's a tough call.
3-2, full count. Jordan Hussein also had a full count to start and ended up with a double in the first innings. Let's see what he can do here now.
Outside, he'll pick up the walk. So Hussein has been on base twice now. A double and a walk. That'll bring up Burl Dixon, the captain. He struck out in the first. Let's see what he can do here. Dixon very athletic, playing center field today.
Burl Dixon has had some fantastic plays out there in center. We sent some in, hoping Sports Center top 10 will pick them up. No offense, Sports Center. I disagree. I believe you should have put him out
Wait
there.
a minute. Reese Davis is downstairs. Go politic a little bit here. Let's use this to our advantage.
I don't know how much say he has in it as the college game day show host, but I'm sure he would vouch for us. He's a USPBL fan at heart.
Well, yeah, he's got his son here. It's nice to see him here, by the way, here in Utica. Fastball on the outside corner, 88 miles an hour. Doesn't catch the zone, so 2-0 now on Dixon. Runner at first base being held on. That one misses, so 3-0 now.
Carsey Walker struggling a bit with command at the moment, but we've also seen him have some fantastic innings. Had an 8-pitch inning a couple weeks back, so he's been doing very well.
Well, he's not missing by much.
No, he's not.
That one is hit into the outfield for a base hit. Hussein will head to third base. Dixon turns the bag at first. This is going to score Hussein. Oh, maybe not. Throw to the plate. And Hussein slides in safely. Boy, I gave him home plate a little prematurely there.
Hussein with a great slide into home plate. Like I told you, Taj Porter has taken some tough hits back there. Seems to be struggling
and
a bit.
He took a nice shot right there.
Yes,
I was obscured. I think the right fielder had a little trouble with the ball.
Yes, did fumble it back there a bit, but Burl Dixon does it again. Showing up with the pink today, I must say. It's a great look right there. I had to point it out.
Oh, he's got the shoes and the elbow pad, huh?
And the arm sleeve, so yes.
So that'll bring up Liam. He struck out his first time up, looking to make amends for that. So a 2-1 lead now for what's listed as blue on the scoreboard. But it's the West team and the away team. This team is like 4 names: the Dixon team, the away team, the West team, and now the blue team.
But Hussein has scored twice now for the West team.
So fly ball to center field. Flores won't. Well, it's going to drift all the way into left field, and Davis will haul it in. Thought that was definitely going to go to center field, but the wind, what little there is, upper air, took it to left.
Well, that's what happens out there, too, when you have Flores and Davis, both typically center fielders. You've got a great outfield out there. Both fielders used to commanding that outfield, so they did some nice work out there today.
So Burke, who singled and had an RBI his first time up, will bat here in the third.
We did see Joe Burke in a home run derby last year. Did not make an appearance in there this year, but still making an appearance in the All-Star game. He was, however, though, the All-Star game MVP last year.
Very good. He's off to a nice start here today with an RBI and a single.
I could never forget the Gatorade shower he got last year. Flew everywhere all over the field.
Oop, and Burke is hit by a pitch, and the catcher, Porter, looks like he caught it also.
Taj Porter is a ball magnet back there. Like I said, he takes some tough hits.
So Walker, first of all, Walker had a foul ball on a ball that was really inside that he was trying to get away out of the way of. Then he gets hit by the next pitch. And again, Porter is just, he's beat up pretty good for only the third inning.
Yes, but Ward Hacklin will now step up to the plate, batting .314 on the season.
Hacklin struck out his first time up.
Kids still hanging out there having a great time over
Yep.
by our LTU sign out there, Lawrence Tech University.
That looks like a lot of fun.
I wonder if they were shagging some balls earlier during our home run derby.
I imagine dancing right now. They like the music. So the runner on second base is Dixon. The runner on first base is Burke. One run has scored this inning. Hacklin, your batter. He looks at a curveball for a strike.
Carsey Walker with the 0-1.
Let's see. Did he check his swing?
He went.
Umpire says no. So 0-2. So 2 down. That one's outside. So Walker, after he pitched himself into a little bit of a jam, is trying to pitch himself out of one. A walk, a double, and a hit by a pitch this inning. Whoa, and he almost hit another one.
Ward Hacklin just stepping out of way just in time. Not the one you'd want to take too close to the face. So thankfully he was able to step out of the way there today. We don't need any injuries happening in our fun All-Star game.
Swing and a miss. And that's the end of the inning. So Hacklin strikes out, but Team Dixon picks up a run. 1 run on 1 hit.
And that is our Fifth Third Out of the Game, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. And our Fifth Third Out of the Game, as always, leads us into JJ, our water boy. He always takes a chance to deliver some water to our umpires over there. Has to keep them alive and refreshed for the day. JJ is
keep them
sponsored by
alive?
Alive and refreshed. It's warm out there, Dan, like we always say. He's sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union, but he always gets his treat at the end of the day. And after this now, we will send it down to Chelsea Cooper.
We are ready to race. I got my buddy Graham here, and he is going to take on Buzz. I talked to Buzz earlier. He's ready to go. Graham, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, buddy, let's do this. I'll meet you at home plate. On your mark, get set, run! Buzz has a little shuffle. He's looking a little sleepy. Buzz, Graham's catching up. Ooh, safe, you slipped. That didn't stop him. Buzz, keep on going, but Graham is rounding third. Ooh, he may even beat me home. Fans, make some noise for Graham. Woo! Nice job, buddy. Ooh.
Well, that was some fun.
He gets a high five there from Chelsea Cooper. JJ taking a big old rest after delivering some water to umpires. As I said, keeping them alive, Dan. JJ usually plays some Frisbee afterwards, but looking a bit tired today as our groups take their way off the field and get their on-field pictures.
So Harvin is in to pitch now for the West team.
JJ's taken his walk off the field, and now we're back with Tristan Harvin, like we said.
Harvin with a 2.40 ERA. He is tied for second with 3 wins in the USPBL, and he has 22 strikeouts, so an impressive resume for Harvin. And it'll be Davis, Acevedo, and Stubbs. 1, 2, and 3 for the East.
Yes, Chris Davis coming back up to the plate. I do not believe he has had a game this year without a hit. So really excited to hopefully see him get a hit this time, going 0-1 so far in the day.
Hits went into center field. Boy, that really carried, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Certainly did.
Dixon really had to track that one almost to the warning track. And there's one up and one away. Captain to captain. Nice job, Gibby. We attribute that one to our director, Christian Gibbons.
Captain to captain. But Burl Dixon walked away with the win on that one.
That'll bring up Acevedo. He singled back in the first and scored. And he looks at one up high.
Acevedo batting .294 on the year, like we had said before. Newer guy, quick on the bases as well.
Stubbs is on deck. From the windup, here's the pitch. This one's hit into the outfield and to left field, and that is off the base of the wall.
Just fair for Luis Acevedo with a stand-up double today.
So Acevedo will cruise into second base. That was a shot. That was home run derby worthy. Minus about 2 feet.
Yes, and he leaves himself out there on second base for J.D. Stubbs to hopefully pick up an RBI tonight.
So Stubbs grounded out to second base his first time up.
J.D. Stubbs from Florida making a trip up to the Midwest every summer, and this summer and last summer to be with the USPBL.
There's a ground ball to first base. This will advance the runner. So there's a runner on third base now with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Spears. Spears grounded out to second base his first time up.
Tremaine Spears batting .245 on the year. 0 for 1 for the day, like we had already discussed. But and we talked earlier about he is a patient batter with already 17 walks on the year.
Looks at one outside. So everybody has played 21 games except for the Unicorns. They have 19.
Unicorns are leading the league so far.
But it will be a dogfight. Here's a ground ball to third. Nice job by the third baseman to wait for the hop, and he'll fire it across the infield in time. And the side is retired. Nothing across for Team Davis. And now we're going to throw it down to Chelsea.
And he's here with his entire family. They're eating some Dippin' Dots, and they have been to Jimmy John's Field many times, and they're excited to come back with the tickets that they just won for being the fan of the game. But guys, don't worry if I didn't choose you for being a fan of the game. I got you covered. Scan the QR code that you see up on the screen. You'll be entered for a chance to win tickets to the USPBL Championship game right here at Jimmy John's Field on September 9th. Trust me, you don't want to miss it, so scan that code for your chance to win. Johnny, back to you.
But when it is time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan, but please drink responsibly. So yes, everyone enjoys their beers at baseball, Dan, but as long as we're drinking responsibly and enjoying our time at the ballpark.
That's what designated drivers are for.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, stepping up to the mound is Jonathan Hobb.
Hobb from the Woolly Mammoths.
Sporting some yellow cleats tonight, I see.
Yeah, that's a good look. I like that. Hobb with 2 saves on the season. Trying to get a hold right here with his team ahead 2-1 as we head to the 4th inning.
But besides these pitchers, these teams have been holding on to their defensive lineups pretty steadily.
Yeah, we haven't noticed a change. We might have missed one. I'd be more than willing to admit that, but
I haven't seen one yet. This is definitely the same lineup that the East team came out with to start. West did not change last inning either, but I would assume following the 4th, maybe going with a change out there.
So Schellenbarger, the right fielder, will lead off. It'll be O'Neill and then Beadle after him. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters here in the 4th inning at Jimmy John's Field on a cloudy, overcast, occasionally rainy night, but all in all, it's been pretty good.
Do not mind the overcast, though. Not too sunny. As a former outfielder, I have to say I love that.
This one is sliced into left field, and the left fielder gets over there in time. That's Davis. And there's 1 up and 1 away.
So you can't lose it in the sun when there's no sun, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, it is an easier background, obviously, for the players. You would think it wouldn't be, but it is.
It most certainly is.
The ball shows up way better in this overcast sky that almost matches the color of the ball as opposed to a blue sky.
Yes, but as soon as you lose it in that sun,
it's over.
There's no going back.
It's game over.
But the star bat is coming back out again with Chris O'Neill, like we saw in that home run derby and we discussed earlier.
You like the star bat.
I am a big fan of the star bat, I must say. Matches the cleats of Hobb. There it is.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Oh,
you got
so
yellow
good to
on
see
yellow.
it. Yes.
There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 on O'Neill. $90-mile-an-hour fastball. That did not hit him. It's 1-2.
Loses a bit of control there, but only 1-2.
It looked a little worse because it popped out of Porter's mitt.
Yes, but don't always want, though you don't want it that close to hitting the batter, but you don't want your 0-2 pitch to be too good. That's the worst thing you could do. Is
and you also don't want the batter digging
pitch.
in.
Yes.
There's a swing and a miss, so look, it was genius.
Exactly, just like we were talking about in that curveball, striking out.
Just the way we drew it up.
Oh, just the way I drew it up, yes.
I said we. What about you? What is this you stuff? What about we?
We drew it up together, Dan.
You threw me under the bus.
After I came up with it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That'll bring up Beadle, the catcher. Beadle struck out his first time up.
I know I keep bringing it up, but what's with all the yellow tonight? The yellow batting gloves, the yellow cleats.
Maybe they got a deal.
Oh, it's a
Maybe
beautiful
there was a sale someplace.
Yes. I love a good sale. Zach Beadle up to bat. Betting 154 on the year. It's the 1-0.
You're just pushing me out of the side now. Is that what you're doing? This is popped up. Right fielder tracks it, puts it away. That's Pastor. And the side is retired. So a 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 2-1.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
Always rely on Tryon.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
And we are back in the bottom of the fourth inning. Trying to figure out which pitcher we left out there. Is that still Harvin?
Out there now is Brett Irwin.
There we go. You have to push the little on button to talk.
Yes, thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much.
I'm here for you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We saw Brett Irwin last night. Now he's back out here again with us today. Brett Irwin with a 5.79 ERA on the year.
He's got 8 1/3 innings pitched, so slightly limited action so far coming into this one. The right-hander will face Pastor, Bolin, and Flores, 5, 6, and 7 for Team Davis as they trail it by a score of 2-1. Team Davis with a run in the first base, a single by Acevedo. He was driven home by Stubbs on a ground ball to second base. For Team Dixon, a single for Hussein. He scored both runs. He scored on a single from Joe Burke, and then he scored on a double by Burl Dixon in the third, and that's how we got here, 2-1.
Yes, and Pastor, Bolin, and Flores looking to get something started here, a manufacturer run to put it up to a 2-2 game.
It's a ground ball to the shortstop. Easy hop for him. Across the infield in plenty of time, and there's one up and one away.
It'll get tossed over now to Malik Bolin, who we just saw in the final rounds of our home run derby. Malik still did fantastic, but Livingston's just a powerhouse of a home run hitter up there. But JJ is the real powerhouse of the USPBL as he carries our bats off the field. Give our bat kids a moment to take a breath. Low and inside.
So a 1-0 count on Bolin.
With a nice Hoppers hat there, while a Beaver is up to bat.
I've got that one. So 1 ball and 1 strike. That one's in the dirt. Slider that didn't slide.
And as Beetle takes a look at his glove, wondering where the ball went.
So a lot of people have settled their way back into the seating area. As you see a line shot over the second baseman's head for a base hit. So Bolin on base for his second time. He'll trot into second base with a stand-up double. So Bolin safe on an error in the second goes into second base here in the fourth with a double. There you see some folks. There's a lot of people under the tented areas right now, just in case.
It's looking like some blue skies now.
Yeah,
finally
it looks trying to break up.
Peering their way through. So, like I had said earlier, we are not letting this stop us. The baseball gods have spoken. We are playing today. There's that blue sky that I talked about.
It's a pretty shot, actually.
Gorgeous.
Thanks to Enver and David, our camera people tonight. PJ's on graphics, and our producer-director is Christian Gibbons.
Flores batting .250 on the year.
This one's hit into center field. Dixon backs up, makes the play. A tag at second base, and the runner will not go to third, and a good choice. Excellent choice to not try to advance.
Yeah, spot-on throw from Burl Dixon. It could have been close. However, Malik Bolin has a lot of strengths. I don't know. I would say speed is one of them. So I'd say fantastic job staying at second and knowing the length he shall go to. Now bringing up Taj Porter.
Porter grounded out to the pitcher. Back in the second. The East team trying to tie it up with a runner on second base. They trail 2-1. Here's one hit into the outfield for a base hit. That's going to score the run.
Just dropping fair as he faces off against his teammate Brett Irwin. Now a 2-2 game here, Dan.
Porter with a double and an RBI. A run scored for Bolin. As you said, we're tied at 2.
Yes, great shot from Taj Porter. Those are the ones you love to see. If they have a little more power behind them, that's a nice, easy triple, usually getting you into third base. Really glad to see him pick up that RBI there as Malik Bolin picks up a run.
So that'll bring up Will Coxon, the shortstop. He struck out his first time up. There you see Bolin, or there you see Porter, rather, who drove in the run. There's a swing and a miss outside of the strike zone.
Will Coxon did have the strikeout in the second with a bit of an low and outside pitch, so hopefully looking up to pick it up here today. The 0-1.
So 1 ball and 1 strike on Will Coxon. Chris Davis on deck. If Will Coxon can keep the inning alive as the sun is trying to come out now. Ground ball to the shortstop. Fairly routine play across the infield. And the side is retired. But a run for the East Side team, where we're tied at 2.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
There you see a beautiful sunset as Huffman now comes in to pitch for the East team, for the Davis team.
I'd like to make a quick shout out to my intern, David Forrest, over there, always getting fantastic shots on the first base side. That beautiful little bit of a sunset we're seeing over there, courtesy of David Forrest.
He was quite a trooper as we were trying to get through the pregame as we went from winter to summer in about a half an hour.
David's always a trooper. Yes, this was actually supposed to be David's off night. But as always, like I said, he is a trooper, and he came in. And then we have Andrew Huffman stepping up to the mound. Andrew Huffman is a Utica Unicorn, now pitching for the East team at the moment. Andrew Huffman has a 4-seam and 2-seam fastball, a curveball slider, and a splitter. We've got Patrick Baggett coming up to bat soon with our marketing girls taking a trip through. Patrick Baggett rounds out the lineup for the West team, and we'll head back up to the top after him with Hussein, who has scored 2 runs tonight, has been manufacturing quite a lot for the West team over there, been getting on base and filling all the rest out, manufacturing the right runs.
All right, so we've got, that's why I bailed on you. We have wholesale changes as we go into the inning. For the East, Hilbrich is now in right field. Pup is now at short. Curiel is now at second. Maddox is at third. Let's see here. Pup at short, and Stevenson is behind the plate. So I hope that's everybody.
Very nice. It seems
wholesale changes.
It seems like the wholesale appropriate changes.
Well, glad you approve.
Yes, Patrick Baggett takes the first strike, low and inside. Patrick Baggett batting 164 on the season, but having a rough start recently, but was doing fantastic when he first got here. I think he's just trying to get that rolling back again, more of a contact hitter.
Baggett struck out in the first inning, but was thrown out by the catcher at first base when the ball got past him. Fouled off at the plate, a little late on that one.
Patrick Baggett has some family that comes to watch him quite often, though. His girlfriend of 6 years drives up from Georgia to come watch him, and his stepson, her son, who he calls his stepson, who he's very close with, gets very excited to come watch him at games. And Baggett said he actually believes that his stepson's going to end up being better at baseball than him one day, so maybe we'll see a future unicorn stepping up soon.
Top of the order after Baggett, Hussein and Dixon. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Baggett late on that one, and he strikes out. So Huffman picks up the strikeout, and that'll bring up Hussein, who has been on base twice and scored twice.
Yes, Hussein being especially effective tonight for the West side. Like I said, he gets on base. He gives them the opportunity to manufacture runs. Lots of times that is your most crucial guy. As long as you can get someone on base, you can try and manufacture something from there. And he's quick. He's very smart on the base path. So he's been doing a great job tonight for the West side.
So Huffman is working from the stretch with nobody on. A lot of guys are more comfortable doing that, especially if they're used to coming out of the bullpen. This one fouled out.
We've got a tied game here. Great all-star game. Couldn't ask for much more. Already in the top of the 5th here tonight.
Remember, we only play 7. So it's getting pretty late in the contest. There's an 89-mile-an-hour pitch up high. Now, I know they don't play traditional extra innings during the regular season, correct?
Yes, during the regular season, the way we settle up a tie is we go to, I'm actually not sure what they call it all of a sudden. Sudden death, excuse me. Yes, sudden death. And what happens is we do a coin flip at home plate. Whoever wins decides if they'd like to take the field or take some at-bats. If the offensive team scores a run, they'll walk away with the win. If the defense holds them, then they'll walk away with the win that night.
Oh, really? Yes. That's interesting. So you can win without scoring?
Yes.
That's curious.
And they do start with a runner on first to already help the offensive team.
Okay, I like that. from the stretch. Here's a line shot into the outfield for a base hit.
Like I said, Hussein being very effective tonight for the West Side, doing a fantastic job of being a pure leadoff hitter for them.
So Hussein has been on base 3 times. He has scored twice. He's got 2 hits and a walk. Hussein might be angling for your MVP award at this point, and that'll bring up Dixon.
Yes, I would definitely say he's vouching for it right now. It's all up to the boys in the booth on the other side, though, not to our booth, to our PA announcers booth and our marketing girls.
Well, I'm guessing in a 2-2 game, it's probably going to be whoever contributes to the win. So 1 ball and no strikes on Dixon. There you see the runner on first base. That one is fouled off at the plate. The runner on first base is Hussein. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. This one's hit into the gap. And that's 1 hop off the wall. So Hussein is going to score his 3rd run of the day. Dixon with another RBI double.
Yes,
I wasn't sure that wasn't going to get out.
I agree. Well, the top 2, those 2, like I said, I thought maybe Dixon had done this purposely. Even though, yes, we have quite an even league, he, as a captain, I think felt comfortable with his 3 guys that he knows being at the top of the lineup. And it's been really paying off for our West Side tonight. Hussein, like I said, being a very pure leadoff hitter, getting on base, while our 2nd and 3rd guy do the work and get him home.
So the Dixon team does take a 3-2 lead here in the 5th. That'll bring up Liam. He's 0 for 2.
It got worse. It's so funny. My mom's a comic.
Oh, they've got him picked off. Oh, no! Dixon safe at 3rd base.
If Maddox could have held on to that, I believe Burl Dixon would have been called out at 3rd base. But I would say a good heads up from Burl Dixon. A bit of quite a move from his side, you could say. Confident move. But it is the All-Star game. Now's the time to try and pull something out here. There's a look at the umpire making the call tonight.
And we missed that Baker now is pinch hitting for Liam in the 3 spot.
Josh Baker, we once again did see in the home run derby.
From the Unicorns.
We talked about Josh Baker earlier, has been player of the game for us before. Early on in the season, talked about how USPBL has helped bring his love back for the game, so we really enjoy having him here.
And he looks at a strike. Burke on deck. Fouled off. And once we get Team Davis back up there, we'll have to track all of these changes and see how the guys are put in the batting order. Because that many changes, you could rearrange your batting order pretty easily. So the runner on 3rd base is Dixon. That one's inside, almost hit him. Baker batting .265 coming into this one, but 3 home runs. Pitcher takes a look at 3rd base. Huffman comes to the plate. Line shot foul down the first base line.
Burl Dixon getting a handshake over there from Taylor Jellikowski on third base.
Yeah.
See if they can get him home here tonight with one out.
One run in. A 3-2 lead. There's a ground ball. Foul down the first base side. So Baker is battling this at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thanks for joining us for the USPBL All-Star Game.
And we still have many games left this season to come. We're nearing our halfway mark, so it's not too late to make it out to a game here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Got a lot of in-game amazing activities going on as well for your kids to enjoy.
There's a swing and a miss by Baker, so he strikes out. So there's 2 down, and that'll bring up Joe Burke. But I think we're going to have a pinch hitter for Burke. So Gooden will come in and bat. Looks like he'll stay at first base, according to our PA announcer.
Got some little friends hanging out on the field. Looks like he's picking out a sunflower seed over there.
Sure you can find plenty here.
Looks like he's having quite the wonderful time here at Jimmy John's Field, like you guys can have if you like to make your way out to a game this year.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
That was good.
He's enjoying some mid-game food like you guys could as well. His sunflower seed. As we come back to Lucas Gooden up to bat.
He fouls it off. So still a runner on third base. As Gooden comes into pinch hit. Would like to drive Dixon home. Here's the pitch. Up high. 1-2.
Fans seem to be filling the stands back up too, Dan. Rain seems to have subsided for the night.
Yep, clouds are breaking up.
Hopefully stays away.
Checked his swing.
I'd like to say I have nightmares about rain delays. With a bit of some unicorn action going on over here. I've never seen a unicorn in real life. Very excited to see one now.
I took my eye off the field for 1 second. There's a strikeout. And that ends the inning. So run scores for the West. They take a 3-2 lead. It's the 2023 All-Star Game.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
And Rushley on the bump now. As you see our rally bird that seems to be getting a lot of airtime.
Yes, our rally bird getting a lot of FaceTime action tonight.
Is it FaceTime or beak time?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I like beak time.
Okay.
Say we run with it. A lot of beak time action tonight.
So Richley is in to pitch. for the West. He's got a 3.65 ERA with 18 strikeouts. And he will face a modified order, I'm sure, as we'll have to play it by ear as the batters come up to see who's batting in what spots. But it is the 1, 2, and 3 spot.
Chris Davis still sticking it out in the
Davis
lineup.
will keep himself in. That's not a terrible choice.
I think it's a great choice. So Chris Davis is 0 for 2 on the day, so he is due. I know he's itching to get a hit here.
A couple of flyouts to center field. That one's outside for Davis. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Chris Davis.
And Whit Hughes behind the plate now, catching for the West Side. Some more changes in the field.
There's a curveball for a strike.
Davis adjusts his batting gloves, which I've noticed he does between every pitch. Taking a break. Tyler Richley.
There's a swing and a miss on the off speed. And that's a strikeout for Chris Davis. So Curiel will bat in the right position.
Curiel batting .232 on the year. Only 1 walk. Likes to be aggressive. 13 hits. Takes his first strike.
So Stubbs is due to be on deck. We'll have to see if he ends up batting. And Curiel looks at strike 2. You know, if you need to fix your shopping addiction, there's some pretty great stuff you can buy here.
That's very true. We also have these new era hats that the MLB features every year. We have welcomed them to Jimmy John's Field.
And there's a strike called on the outside corner, strike 3 on Curiel.
Richley making quick work out there.
That'll bring up Stubbs.
Making his all-star debut. J.D. Stubbs, yes, does come up to the plate now.
Stubbs 0 for 2. We mentioned earlier Stubbs with 84 total plate appearances. That includes his walks and safe on an error or fielder's choices.
You can also find J.D. Stubbs featured in our Shake It Off music video. He does a fantastic job. I believe he is quite the dancer. Sarcasm.
Here's a pop-up to center field. Dixon calling the right fielder off. And there's 3 outs as Dixon puts that one away. We will head to the 6th. We are tied at 3.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
And we're back on the USPBL network as Garrett Bonnet takes the mound. Once again, I'm Carol Wolfbauer, joined by Dan York here today. Really excited to be with you guys during our All-Star game here. And our buddies are still hanging out there by our pitch clock tonight. These are some very dedicated fans that we've seen here watching the USPBL All-Star game.
They'll get home and find out they were famous.
Oh, I know. I hope they take a look back and just feel great about themselves tonight. Made some kids' days.
So Bonnet with 12 appearances and 12 strikeouts. So scheduled to bat are Hacklin, Schellenbarger, and O'Neill, but we're liable to see more changes. So Hacklin will bat. Hacklin with a couple of strikeouts today. Top 6 here at Jimmy John's Field.
Like we said, this is a 7-inning game, so going by quite quickly here tonight.
Fly ball hit into right field, near the foul line. And there's one up and one away. And this is supposed to be Schellenbarger. And it's a pinch hitter.
Joseph Califoot, another Eastside Diamond Hopper. New, came in after our college showcase. Been sporting out there in left field for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Went 3 for 4 last night. He's been very effective at the plate, batting .387 on the year. And him and Schellenbarger were teammates back in the day. So really interesting to see them on the same team now in professional ball.
And he takes a strike. There's one outside. Califoot, a left-hander. Looks at one outside from Bonnet.
Seen some great pitch selection from Joseph Califoot so far this year.
His team up by 1. It's 3-2. Checks his swing, but a called strike. Outfield and infield pretty much straight up. Checked his swing, called a ball. Well, they check at first base, and the umpire rings him up, says he swung. So there's 2 away.
How do you feel about that call, Dan?
It wasn't the best.
I'd say I subtly disagree.
Yeah,
subtly.
I've seen.
Happens.
I've seen. Yeah. We'll let it go.
Do feel a bit bad for Joseph Califoot after that. I thought that was some great pitch selection. I do not believe his bat crossed that plane, so hopefully he'll make another appearance here in the All-Star game.
This brings up Marcus Judd.
I am a big Marcus Judd fan, though,
Okay.
I must say. His father came to visit last week, and I believe he coached him growing up, so it's been some nice moments here for the Judd family. Judd is also quite the character. Enjoyed some laughs here with him at Jimmy John's Field. Really great with the kids. Him and Will Coxon seem to be up the middle together for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Judd usually sporting at second base.
I think Judd will end up in third base based on how they've been handling the substitutions. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Time to step out, really take a breath. Time for some composure.
So bottom of the 6th coming up for the East Side team, and they need some help. They trail by a run. Again, we only play 7. This one's popped up into the outfield. This might be a tough play. First baseman makes the play, and the side is retired. So nothing across. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th from the All-Star game here in Utica right after this.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
There you see some of the folks here for the All-Star game, gathering some autographs. Kids are very excited when they come to Jimmy John's Field and the USPBL.
Whit over there signing autographs for our lovely fans. Got some more fans checking out in the grandstand. You can see some water on our grandstand seats a bit, but it has cleared up tonight. Beautiful night out here for some baseball. Just had to deal with a little bit of rain for some sunshine.
There you go. There you see Jace Bowman. He's in relief. He leads the USPBL with 5 saves on the season. We'll have to see what the batting order is. There were a lot of changes made in a lot of different directions this can go.
Todd Maddox is stepping up to the plate for the East Side. And he is an East Side Diamond Hopper.
The manager's doing a great job of getting everyone in.
Like we said, the All-Star game is a good time to enjoy yourself and have fun. And maybe take a breath from remembering that this is a job for these guys. So today they can enjoy themselves and remember that they're playing professional baseball, something they dreamed about as a child.
He fouls one off over the grandstand, down the first base line. Looping liner into the outfield for a base hit. So Maddox comes off the bench and leads off with a hit. And the East team, the Davis team, needs a couple of hits to try to score a run.
Ray Hilbrick now stepping up to the plate.
And Hilbrick was in the game.
Hilbrick been batting especially well recently, 407 on the year so far. Has only been here for a few games, but still impressive batting average.
He does qualify for the league lead in hitting, even with his limited at-bats. Runner on first base is Maddox. Fouled off over the third base dugout. The dugouts here are a little bit farther down the line than you're used to seeing because they can accommodate then more seating right behind home plate in those suites that are right behind. There you see the dugout is quite a ways down compared to what you would normally see.
That's our Cabana Suites. Have a great shot standing behind the guys. They can wave some of the players and get some autographs.
3-2 game, West on top. East with a runner on first base and nobody out. This one is fouled off to the third base dugout. First baseman holding Maddox on.
Jace Bauman is a teammate and a roommate of Carsey Walker, who we discussed earlier. Also roommates to Alejandro Lara, not in this All-Star game, but another fellow Unicorn.
This one's ripped down the line, foul. So we started to talk about this before. Because of the nature of how this is managed, a lot of these players are living with host families, correct? Explain that.
They either have apartments together that the league helps place them in, or they get placed with a host family. A lot of them have some younger host family siblings, you could call them, and they really enjoy spending time with them.
This one's hit into center field. Dixon hauls it in, and there's one away. And you have a lot of guys at this level that this is their first time away from home. So a host family maybe is a better situation than living on their own entirely.
Yes, if they didn't go away for college, but they came away here, a lot of guys definitely, I think, would maybe have some struggles being away from home. It's an adjustment in general, adjusting to professional baseball, and then knowing that you're also away from your family. So I know some of them say they have game nights with their host families. Really get to know the kids. Eric Ramirez from last year, not with the USPBL again this year, but very close to his host brother. A good family I remember from last year. Had a fantastic time. Jonathan Hodo from last year had the same host family 2 years in a row. So they really get to know these kids, and I know it's a little heartbreaking when they leave.
It's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. He'll throw it to second for one. Relay to first and get the double play. Nice job by Bowman to make the play. And they'll turn it 1-4-3. And we go to the seventh inning. Still, the West team leads by one. We'll take a break and be back for the seventh.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
It's the seventh inning here at Jimmy John's Field as the All-Star game moves along. The West team ahead by a score of 3-2. That is the team coached. That is the Captain Dixon's team. So his team leads 3-2. Burl Dixon's team leading Chris Davis's team. Again, we play 7 innings, so. And Drummond now on the mound for the East team.
Luke Drummond did come from some D3 ball before coming here, so it does show that guys from all levels can come and play very well at the professional level, and Luke Drummond is the example of that. Now, we know we just talked about the West is leading by 1 run. However, they are trailing by 2 hits. But now I see Whit Hughes will be coming up to bat soon, making his all-star batting debut.
So Drummond comes into the game with 28 strikeouts, good for 4th in the league. His opponent batting average against him is 188, so he has had a successful season so far. So Whit Hughes will bat for Beetle.
Whit Hughes gives a bit of a wave over there to Luke Drummond. Some teammates facing off again here tonight. Both great guys on and off the field. Whit Hughes is a returner to Jimmy John's Field, was an Eastside Diamond Hopper last year. And was looked at as a captain figure by many of his Diamond Hopper teammates.
Hughes, the other catcher on this team. It's a ground ball to third, and it chews up the third baseman. So Hughes will be safe at first with an error on the third baseman. Just chewed him up. I believe that's Maddox.
Yes, that is Maddox at third base, his fellow teammate.
And Baggett remains in the game at shortstop. He will not be hit for. The runner on first base, swing and a miss. Big cut by Baggett. There's a ground ball. It's going to be a tough play at third. Maddox comes up with it, not in time. Everybody's safe.
Too much speed from Patrick Baggett making his way over to first base. That's a tough go for Todd Maddox. Rough play.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance.
No, that will be a base hit for Patrick Baggett tonight.
So this will bring up Hussein, who's had a really good game.
Yes, not the guy you want to see stepping up to the plate for the east side as the bases are loaded, but for the west side, this is exactly the place you'd like to be in. The end of your order, usually I think the last three, I would say that number 9 should be like another leadoff hitter, leading them now into the top of the lineup. This is exactly what they were looking for here.
And Hussein, who has scored all 3 runs, has an opportunity now to pick up an RBI with runners on first and second. Hussein with a walk, a single, and a double. And 3 runs scored. Whoa, bails out of there. 1-1 on Hussein. Burl Dixon on deck.
Drummond loses a bit of control there. Glad to see Hussein get out of the way. With Burl Dixon coming up to bat next, like you had said. But Jordan Hussein, 2 for 2 on the day, but has been on base all 3 times with a walk as well.
Opportunity here for the Dixon team as there's a called strike to blow this open. With nobody out, 2 on, and a 1-run lead.
Great pitch by Luke Drummond. Does not seem as though Jordan Hussein usually goes for that outside pitch, so great pitch selection for him there to hit Hussein with that outside.
Outfield deep. Hussein swings down at that one and strikes out. So the first time today that Hussein has not been on base. That'll bring up Dixon.
But if there was a time to retire Hussein, this is it. This is the moment you would have wanted it to be with 3 runners on.
Well, yeah, if you're the East team, for sure.
Yes, yes. Should have specified on that one. For the East team is exactly what I meant, but now we've got 1 down. 3 runners on. For the West team, bit of a tough go.
So Dixon with a pair of doubles bats. He looks at a strike on the inside corner. He kind of buckled away from that, thinking that was inside. Runner on second is Hughes. Runner on first is Baggett. Center fielder Burl Dixon, the batter. Fouls it off. No, I'm sorry, this is going to stay in play. And there's 2 away. I was watching the monitor, and just the way he swung, I thought that was just going to be fouled off. So there's 2 away. So the West team possibly going to miss an opportunity here with 2 runners on and nobody out. This will bring up Baker. By the way, there will be no games in the USPBL tomorrow, as this one is fouled away, and the Play will resume on Thursday.
One of our few Sundays that we have off, but leads us into our Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Dave & Buster's next week.
Be Birmingham Bloomfield versus Utica at 7:05 on Thursday the 13th. Here's a pop-up, and the center fielder will make the play, and the side is retired, so an opportunity wasted by the West team. They get 2 on with nobody out. They can't score. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-2.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties.
Nathan Witt on the mound now for the West team. He has 8 strikeouts in 8 innings, and he will try to close this out for the West team and Team Dixon.
Yes, and Nathan Witt is a former Michigan State Spartan. We had a couple of those in this league. We saw Kyle Bischoff get signed from the Westside Woolly Mammoths to the Minnesota Twins organization. Is a former Michigan State Spartan. Go Green. Connor Tomasic, also from the Utica Unicorns, is a Michigan State University product. Nathan Witt is from Clarkston, Michigan, and did make the 2017 draft. Was drafted to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
He will face potentially Anthony Flores. We'll see if there's any pinch hitters scheduled, and just have to see what the East side throws out there, or the East team throws out there. So Anthony Flores will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. I think Stevenson is on deck. Unless they pinch hit from him, but they would leave them without a catcher for extra innings if they were to tie it. So guessing it's going to be Stevenson. There's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So Anthony Flores gets on base in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I'd like to do a quick friendly reminder as well. This is basically the bottom of the 9th, if we're talking here, because we are only going 7 innings today. So this East team is going to need to try and execute a run for themselves today to tie it up or take home that win tonight.
So Stevenson, who went in as catcher, again remains in the game. Otherwise, the East team would not have a catcher if they made it to extras. But again, extras is not traditional extras here, as this one is fouled off down the first base line. But I guess you still need a catcher if you're on defense. They would be forced to take offense if they won the coin toss.
Yes.
If they didn't have a catcher. That's a lot of ifs.
What do you think you would choose if you came down to it as a manager, deciding if you'd like to take the field? Take defense?
There's a lot of pressure on the offense.
I would do the same thing as well. It also depends on who you have coming up to bat.
Especially with the runner on first and not on second.
Yes.
The runner's on second base, I might make a different decision. But with the runner on first base, I think I'm going to take defense. Runner on first base is Flores. Team Davis down by a run. That one's past the catcher, and that's going to move the runner up. So Flores moves into scoring position on the wild pitch. So Nathan Witt digging his own hole right now.
Yes, Nathan Witt struggling with some control and some command right now, but that just means it's the optimal opportunity for the east side to start taking control.
Here's the pitch up high. Nathan Witt, the right-hander, with a runner on second base. Fouled off. West Side up by a run. 3-2. Bottom of the 7th. Outside, he walks him. So Team Davis kicking up their heels.
As Alex Pup now steps up to bat. Alex Pup is a returner from last year, an Eastside Diamond Hopper. Been the shortstop for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers now for the past year and a half, and will be continuing to stay there for the rest of the season.
So the runner on first is Stevenson. The runner on second is Flores. There's a big swing and a miss. It's 1 to tie, but it's 2 to win. All right, so you've played baseball/softball.
Yes.
Are you trying to play for the one run, or are you letting everybody go up there because it's the all-star game and just swing away?
I'd say you're letting everybody go up there because it's the all-star game and you're just enjoying it today. That's just my opinion. I don't think. I don't think they're going to play for the run either. No, you're always looking to be competitive, but at the same time, just enjoying themselves today.
Well, and you've got Davis coming up next, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to pinch hit for him.
No. Pup would be looking for a base hit up the right side.
There goes the runner. Broken bat. Oh, that's going to be a double play. Holy cow. Pup with a broken bat, line shot to the second baseman. And with Flores breaking to third, the second baseman just had to touch the base.
Wow, as we get a shrug there from Marcus Judd. Not much you can do about a play like that for Anthony Flores.
Wow, what an amazing turn of events. That's Hussein at second still, right?
That is Hussein at second. Yes, Marcus Judd did make that catch and that play.
Oh, it wasn't Hussein?
No, it was Marcus Judd, the second baseman currently for the Beavers. Well, for the West Side, comes from the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers.
Swing and a miss by Davis. 0-2 now on Davis. Davis, who is batting .333 coming into this game, is 0 for 3. He's down to his last strike. Runner on first base is Stevenson. East team down by a run. Fouled off. No lack of drama in our All-Star game. Strike 3. Davis strikes out. Witt pitches out of the jam, and the West team comes away with a 3-2 victory in a very entertaining all-star game here today. Combine that with the home run derby, and this was really a great day for everybody involved.
Yes, really exciting day today for the USPBL. It's always a pleasure to see all of the guys come out on the field together and put on a show for our crowd. It just boosts some team camaraderie, too, watching the guys from all the different teams.
So Witt picks up the save in the one-run game, and Team West on the field celebrating their victory here today. A 3-2 win in the All-Star game after a very enjoyable home run derby. We're going to have the presentation of the MVP trophy. Congratulations again to Livingston Morris for winning the home run derby today with 35 round trippers during our home run derby competition.
It looks like they have selected Burl Dixon as the MVP of the year.
Pretty solid choice. You could go with him or Hussein. He's either way.
Yes. With Burl being the captain, I believe that probably veered the choice in that direction.
Yeah. He did have 2 RBIs. Are waiting to throw it to Chelsea down on the field as she gets ready to make the MVP presentation. Guess we'll have kids run the bases too after the game.
Yes, that's always a very exciting thing here with USPBLs. The kids always get to run the bases afterwards. They always stick around even on long days.
All right, let's give it to Chelsea down on the field.
I am here with a very important person. My most valuable player, presented by the Detroit Sports Media Association, goes to the captain of Team Dixon. It's Burl Dixon. So Burl, I'm going to hand you this. Yes, hold that trophy up for everyone to see. Well deserved. Rumors said, or I heard from a little bird, that you mentioned yesterday that you really wanted to get this MVP award. So what does this award really mean to you?
You know, it just means I came out amongst the best players and put up a good performance, so feels good.
You absolutely did. You were 2 for 4. You had 2 doubles. You had 2 RBIs. You know, you and Chris Davis were named captains for the All-Star game, which is a huge accomplishment for both of you and a notch in your belt. So what do you want to say to your team?
Way to come out and play loose, guys. I just wanted my team to be loose in the body and loose in the mind, and we came out and just had fun and got the win.
You guys sure did. So my last question is, where are you going to put that trophy?
At home with all my other trophies.
I love it. Everyone give it one more time for the 2023 All-Star MVP, Burl Dixon. Well done.
All right, well, a great job today for everybody. Congratulations to Burl Dixon on his MVP award.
Yes, Burl Dixon, the captain of the West tonight, and walked away with the win. Obviously did a fantastic job with making those selections today, and the team really came together in the end.
Dixon with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Jordan Hussein with 3 runs scored. So a great effort by him. He scored every run that the West team had today. And a great effort by the West team, but a great effort by everybody. This is a very competitive game. It was a great game to watch, and it was a very enjoyable game.
Yes, and really enjoyed the home run derby with Livingston Morris tonight. Did a fantastic job. Really excited to see him come home with it. Since he didn't get to participate in our All-Star game this year, I'm really glad he got to make himself a nice showing at our home run derby. But it was great to see all the other 5 guys compete as well, and just didn't put on a show tonight. Like you see these kids running around out here, this is what makes it all worth it at the end of the day. Enjoying themselves. Honestly, you never know. Maybe those guys, they could have been just like one of these kids running around the bases, hoping to be a professional baseball player, and now they're in that spot setting the example.
Well, Kara, thanks for inviting me to be here today. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Loved being here with you, Dan.
Thank you to our director, Christian Gibbons. That is going to wrap it up from Jimmy John's Field in Utica. And again, the final. The West Team 3, the East Team 2. Thanks for watching, and catch us again on Thursday the 13th when the Birmingham Bloomfield team takes on Utica. Good night, everybody.